Can you let our supervisor know that the police report was attack?
1830. First number. 10-4. 47 full 6. Caller and the owner of the vehicle. Thank you. 111, 113, Robert 11. Okay over there? Is your victim at the hospital? Someone shot there. Alright, the ET doesn't take pictures of the, is the domestic related? Possibly with the daughter. Stand by with this.
2412. Take Bravo 617.
Also still staying on you know?
Good evening, everybody. Boom. Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. Look at my... Ooh, it's so cozy out here. What's up, everybody? I'm loving this music. Good evening. By the way, if you need any of this cool banners, whoa, my hand disappeared. Need any of this cool banner stuff or any of this? Oh, it's not showing my background. Hold on. Animated background banner. Say please. Add a girl. Say. Oh, whoa. There we go. Skip my music there for a second. Let me know which background you like the best. I kind of came across this one. I was like, ooh, I like it. And this is a cool feature. So whenever there's breaking news, right? Whenever there's breaking news, everybody. Breaking news. But I know you guys like this one. So we'll go with this one for tonight. What's up, everybody? Let's go ahead and get the show going. We had Kevin Kraft on a little bit ago. Shout out Kevin Kraft. Thanks for hopping up. Appreciate you. Kid Kitty, what's up? Moonvale, Kelly Miller, Tracy. And once I get that link from him, I'll go ahead and add that other one in the description. What's up, Detective? No, I just needed a few more minutes in between the show. Bacon brownies, who's coming over? That smells good. Yes. What's up, Caddy? Great to see you. What's up, buddy? I need an address star. Hope you're having a great evening. Thank you, Doodlebug. Appreciate the kind words. Appreciate that. If you love this music, right there, man. I'll be having him on the show Friday morning. We're going to be talking Emily Noble. Tomorrow, I already got the notification up. Silky Southern Tea and Coach Kev are going to be joining me. We're going to be talking Delphi Odinism. And there's going to be a little bit of a debate going on, but we always have a great conversation when we get together. What's up, Lulu? Lulu. Yes, yes. It's so perfect. I love this little picture here I came across too. Thank you, Bianca. Ticket number 10, Bianca. Bianca Kelly Miller, she remembers her ticket number 7. There you go. Yeah, beautiful stuff. Again, I'll show the photos here real quick. I still have them on this one. Look at this stuff right here. This is the show we just did. And there's some of the stuff right there, isn't it? There you go. What's up, Katrina Miller? How you doing? Yes, yes. DS. What's going on? Whoa, there we go. StreamYard's throwing my comments all over the place. I don't think I missed anybody. So, H.Blum. What's up, Jacqueline? Boom. H.Blum had a response to Mr. Steve G. And it wasn't really a response. We called it. Dude's he used certain keywords so he could back off, just like Coffin Daffer. We showed you Coffin Daffer doing it last night. He did it today. What's up, Brandywine? Thank you for hopping in. That's why I wanted to show you the whole Coffin Daffer thing last night. You know? What's up, Dana Puff and stuff? How you doing tonight? Because I'm like, this shit can happen. And it did. We said last night, dude's going to back away from it. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Dude's going to back away from it. Look what happened. Today, Mr. H.Blum. So I'll go ahead and give you his response. Actually, I made a highlight about it. I'll just play that shit. I'll just play my own shit. Hold on one second. I made a highlight about it. We'll just play that. You can just listen to me on this while we... Just a couple minutes. I read through it already, so. All right. It's H.Blum response real quick, and I'll get into this later tonight when we get into the true crime episode of Idaho4. A brief response to the statement by the Goncalves family attorney. 1, I have no wish to get into a public argument with Mr. Goncalves. He and his family have already suffered too much pain. We both agree on continued that I never interviewed him, as the article clearly states. 3, my portrait of a grieving father was based on a trove of text he wrote that were made available to airmail, his public statements and interviews with people close to him. See what I'm saying? I'm hot potato. Just like Coffindaffer threw in those words with the ID found connected to the 1122. And then we watched the video last night. You see the headline. The headline says ID connected. When she starts saying something, I think it's the wordplay. It's the media. You gotta be careful. Listen to this. Look at this guy. He's not saying those things are true. No. We both know, quote, that I never interviewed him, as the article clearly states, because remember, he made sure to put that at the top. I think wrote the article, reached out for a response, didn't get a response, put that at the top to make it seem, let's just get this out of the way, right? Because then by the time you're done reading a 21-minute, 42-minute subtitle article, you don't even think about what you remember in the first couple sentences, because you're like, holy shit, I'm surprised I made it through all those big words. Dude is just backing off. That's all he's fucking doing. He's backing the hell away from it. We both agree that I never interviewed him, quote, as the article clearly states. Backing the hell away from it. Backing the hell away from it. That's why I was saying it ain't no different than frickin' Coffindaffer. It ain't no different than some of these fucking people out here talking about this crazy ass fucking shit. The number one thing any of our shows should be about is respect for the victims. Respect for the victims. Respect for the family of the victims. Respect for the community of the victims. And then everybody else after that. So dangerous. So dangerous. Because of the Johnny Manziel. It's disgusting. If you're going to say some shit like that, own up to it. Own up to it. Don't back away. Don't block people. Give me a break. Own up to it. All right. I just figured it was going to be easier just to show you guys that instead. All right. So I'm going to get into the show here. We're going to be talking. We already talked H.Blum. We're going to be talking about some of the PCA. I might get into the coroner. I'm thinking about it. A little bit of the body cam. We're going to be checking out some chaos sector, some Idaho4 revealed. We'll be opening up panel and whatever else. So we're going to check out a video from Harsh real quick. This has to do. So you know how like when I went through the PCA back in January, and you start to look at the wordplay on the PCA. You look into the wordplay on the PCA, right? Why did the dinosaur cross the road? Why is that? So when it comes to the PCA, there's wordplay. Bushy eyebrows. Clad in black. Who in the fuck? So it makes you wonder. I always said, when it comes to the the words of the PCA. Who says that that was even DM's first statement? I know you guys heard me say it over and over and over. Who says that was her first statement, second, third? Who says it wasn't on a phone call? Who says somebody wasn't saying, hey, did the person have bushy eyebrows or plucked eyebrows? Did they have skinny eyebrows? Did they have crooked eyebrows? Yeah, they had bushy. Were they clad in blue? Were they clad in orange? Were they clad in black? Yeah, clad in black. Who says, right? Because they didn't have chickens back then. Oh, shit. You're funny. It is true, though, right? I don't know. Did they have chickens? I don't know. Maybe. When did the chickens start, right? When did the chickens start? That's a good question, too. Can't she come out and say, hey, I didn't say that? No. How can she... Star. How could she come out and say she didn't say it if they asked her and she said yes? How can she say she didn't say it? If somebody said, hey, Star, did the person have bushy eyebrows or skinny eyebrows? And you said, bushy. Or what if they even said, did the person have bushy eyebrows? And you said, yeah. Can you really tell them I didn't say that? No. Now, once she's up on the stand, of course they're going to ask her about her statement. Of course. She'll have every opportunity then. And I would hope that she said it because it's in the PCA. But she'll have every opportunity then to answer. But she really can't say she didn't say it unless somebody's lying. And I don't know if they're going to put a lie in a PCA. I don't know. We'll see. They can put suggestions, phone pings, the car being at different locations. They can put in suggestions. But as of a statement coming from a witness, claiming to be a witness, claiming to witness certain features, I don't know. I don't know about that. But that's the thing about wordplay. It can look on paper. That's why we don't know for sure. That's why we can sit there and say we don't know if it's her first, second, third interview or if it was even suggested to her, because you could take it both ways. You could take it as her saying, yes, the guy had bushy eyebrows and he was my height, 5'10". Or you could take it as LE saying, was he your height? Yeah, he was about my height. Oh, okay, about 5'10". Yeah, I'd say, yeah, my 5'10". And did he have bushy eyebrows or skinny eyebrows? Skinny? No. What about bushy? Yeah, I think so. Okay. Boom. That's in the PCA too. It's the wordplay. All right, so I'm going to get to this. This Harsh is talking about the 911 call, right? Do we even know if there's 1 or 2 or 3? So we'll hear what he has to say about it. I'm interested to hear what he has to say. Is he going to be on the streak? Now, he's on a streak of like 4 days in a row, dropping more F-bombs than me, which is Guinness Book of World Record shit. So we'll see what's up. Shout out, Harsh. Appreciate you, bro.
Sounds like, in which you did claim that you did, that you knew about the 3 a.m. 911 call before today, and she just kind of wondered why you had not come out with it before today.
Because, well, I've told the FBI everything. So I just don't know if there's something. I think that's something that, like the 911 calls.
Oh, is this about? Oh, hold on a minute. There's another video. This is about that shit that can't be proven yet. Let me see. Hold on. Oh, crap. It put me all the way at the bottom. All right, where was that other one at? Here it is, right here.
Well, hello there. How is everyone? I hope you're well on this marvelous Monday. That's right, baby. It's still Monday, and it's still marvelous, like you. And that's why I did you a favour.
Gorgeous.
I kind of moved. I shifted things around because I knew that you wouldn't be able to wait for my take on parts of what we spoke of in video 1 today. If you
Morning,
missed
Move
video
Bill.
1 after this video, go check it out. I won't interfere with this video. It will just lead you to understand how I've moved things around for you, so you didn't have to wait as long for my take on the Dylan Mortensen and Bethany Funk situation, as it would appear that the information surrounding what happened that night and how they were handling that night was leaked to none other than Steve Gonsalves via, it would seem, a conduit in the form of an FBI agent that was then leaked by H.Blum. And the grand
Yeah, H.Blum leaked a lot of shit, didn't he? Whew. Boy. He leaked a lot of shit.
jurors would go on to say,
You know, that shit's just dangerous, what Bloom does. Like, gosh, man. I tell you what. You put the case in jeopardy. You could have tainted the fucking potential jury pool, and you put the 2 surviving roommates, their safety in fucking jeopardy, H.Blum. What the fuck, dude?
say that not only
So
did
dangerous.
Bethany and Dylan not sleep through it or not hear anything, but they heard everything. And not only did they hear everything, they were messaging one another throughout the attack. That's correct. So we've got 2 people inside this house who were texting one another while this attack was going on. Now, it'd be interesting to know if any of those texts between these 2 went out to anybody else in the house. So it wasn't just that these 2 were texting one another, because what I would want to establish if I was law enforcement is it just a conversation that is very, very clearly just between these 2? Or is it a conversation that is looking to try and speak to everybody, but these are the only 2 that are answering? Because that would be different, because you would be able to ascertain whether this started out as something and ended out as a conversation just between these 2, and what was the context of that conversation, or did it start with these 2 and end with these 2? Because that changes the entire dynamic of what happened in that home, if indeed
this shit's true, this whole text message stuff. Woo! You know? Woo! And if it's not true, you just put these 2 surviving roommates' safety in jeopardy. If it's not true. This guy better fucking... If he gets away with this shit by saying, people that are close to Steve. Bro? That is so reckless. With a pen and a fucking piece. That is so reckless, man. If this shit is not true. Oh, thank you. Okay. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's been on purpose for a long time. You got to thank you know who for that. You know what I'm saying, Stardust? You know what I'm saying? 100. No, I love this background caddy. That's why I went back to it. I mean, I do. This is, I do got my second favorite now, which is this one right here. Because it kind of reminds me of the background that I used to have. Um, but this is my favorite right now. Yeah, this one right here. It just goes good. I've had it for a long time. I was just saving it for Halloween, but I figured since I got it to work the other night, I was like, you know what, I should, yeah, because I figured by Halloween I could get the green screen thing, but this background's working not too bad for it, so I might just have to find a different color and do the same thing. Yeah, I love it. It's the clouds, the trees. I might just keep it for good. I need a black light. It kind of looks like I have one, doesn't it? Kind of looks like I have one. And if I had a black light, you all wouldn't be able to see me. That's it. You'd see my shirt. That's about it, Come on. One thing I need to do is I need to figure out the lighting better so then it shows up me better compared to the background, But the only thing is I cannot wear any of my black hoodies anymore because then all of a sudden I'll blend in with the background. So I got to figure out something else. I got to figure out a different color back here, some bright green or something, right? All right, we're gonna finish this video here. If it's true, though, right? If this is true, I'm glad he put 3 question marks because he's good like that.
The communication was just between these two, solely between these two, and neither of them had tried to reach out to anybody else in the house via text, via call, who knows. But yeah, it would appear that Dylan and Bethany are communicating with one another while this is going on. And I would imagine that, look, what's happened here, law enforcement have alluded to the fact that they have placed what was going on, their entire time frame is based upon that phone conversation. And what has been said by the people in that house. So that's very important to understand. Very, very important to understand. Because what you've got to imagine is this. So the white Hyundai Elantra that we've been led to believe is Brian Kohberger's is only part of the picture because of the information that has come from this house. So the information regarding what Dylan Mortensen has said with regards to being an eyewitness, which that piece of information is sketchy as fuck. And we know that because we know that there was a communication external to this house prior to 911. And it would appear that nobody had come forward, the likes of Dave, WSUK, maybe you want to believe them or not, but no, what I'm trying to get is nobody has come forward and said that Dylan Mortensen was a witness. No one has said anything. Nothing has been leaked, nothing about anybody seeing anybody. And in fact, law enforcement, James Fry himself had said that they were not witnesses. Steve Gonsalves, in this damn publication, has said that he wasn't told that they'd seen or heard anything. He had to find out through his grand jury leak, and that is incredibly important, guys. Incredibly important, because we could potentially believe that these two people in this house, like you guys always tell me, you always preach to me, that if you're in a situation, you get yourself an attorney. You get yourself one. Because why? Because you could drop yourself in the shit. And that's as simple as that. You get yourself an attorney because you know that law enforcement operate in a manner with which puts you at risk, even if you're innocent. Mm-hmm. And at the end of the day, people lost their lives in this house, and you had 2 survivors. So that they got legal representation. But they could have been leveraged on. It could have been, look, we want you to say that you saw this person. We want you to give us a description that fits along the lines of bushy eyebrows, around 6 foot tall. All right? And I say that the more I look into this, the more I pull it apart, and I get it. I get the old tinfoil hat comments. I get it. But what I can't get my head round is that the entire time frame of events is based on a conversation that happened between two surviving roommates when everybody else in the house was massacred. And you got a communication between these two, and then all of a sudden someone who wasn't a witness then turns into a witness and just happens to give a eyewitness account of what they saw. I don't get it. I just don't understand.
It doesn't make
And
sense.
what I've always said to people is, look, you see this in crimes, don't you? We know that there was a DoorDash ordered. And it's my inquisitive mind. It's my, mind going at 100 mile an hour. What is the best way to make it look like something happened at a different time? What is the best way to make it look like someone was alive long after they won? And that is to make it look like there was activity on their phone. Now, we know there was a DoorDash order, but we don't know who ordered it. We know what it looks like
Right.
happened and what it looks like who ordered it, but we don't know that.
And that Zaina's phone was active on TikTok. But we don't know. Was that really her? Could it have been the person that did the crime? There's so much. That's why I think the crime started before it even, they're claiming. The original timeline. It was 3 to 4 a.m. originally. Then it went to 4 to 4:25. 3 to 4:25 is what I'm saying. 3 to 4:25. Or maybe just a few before 3, honestly, if you think about the phone calls that were taking place shortly before 3.
We don't know. We do not know who ordered that food. We've got communication between these two girls, but you still have to fathom why not. What if they're talking to each other during this when it's happening? That means that there was two people who decided not to call 911. So even if you want to believe that one person's not going to call 911, even though a 5-year-old would, why do two of them who are communicating with one another, they are texting one another, they are speaking to one another while this is going on, why do neither of them make a decision to call 911? Why do neither of them reach out?
That's why I'm saying, if this is freaking true, man, that's fucked up. If it's not true, whoever's saying it is, that's so dangerous, because you are playing with people's fucking safety, dude, and that is not fucking cool. That's not why you're in this fucking business. It's not cool.
For help. If they can hear stuff going on and they're in fear of something, then why do they not call 911? It's bizarre. Why do they not come out of their house earlier? If they're messaging each other and they feel that something's going on, something's amiss, and that the roommates are not responding to texts or they're not responding to calls and they've just heard a commotion, whatever, and they're speaking to each other, why do neither of them call 911? Let me know. And I know this is a question that we get hooked on, but with this new information that says that they were messaging each other and the entire timeline is gauged on their communication, and we have to trust so much about these two things.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
That's why we're going into the PCA here in a little bit, and I'm gonna reread the frickin' PCA. You're gonna see when we reread this, it's the general shit is just gonna be like, oh fuck. Just like it's like the whole surveillance all over Pullman in frickin' Moscow. Oh yeah, we got a white fucking car going here and here and here and here and here. When you start off your investigating the white cars, you start off with 19 to 22,000. Oh yeah, we got a white car going from here to here to here to here to here, Judge. Well, I'm sure you fucking do. And then the fact that they were just, yeah, we're done talking. We're done. Everybody that was at that property, King Road homicides. We even have a little thing on here that tells you who we're not interested in, who is not believed to be involved. We're going to tell you. Here's the link if you don't have it, but I'm pretty sure you do. Oh yeah, we're going to tell you. All individuals at the residence when 911 was called. Crazy. But it doesn't say anything about the food delivery. Doesn't say nothing about it. Harsh has another video about that too. About why people were not considered suspects or part of the investigation anymore.
Well, hello there, you beautiful, beautiful people. I hope you're all well on this marvellous Monday. Did you know, in video 1, I couldn't remember that we'd called it Marvellous Monday. I think it was, I don't know.
Monday.
It takes a little while for your brain to engage on a Monday, doesn't it? But we got there, and we're here. And we're on video 2 of, I think, 4. If I can survive through it. But anyway, you're looking amazing, by the way, for those of you who have not been told so far this morning. If you haven't been told, why not? You need to be told that every single day. But anyway, this video is going to be touching on alibis, because so many people have reached out, and I think this hasn't really been discussed, or these are people who haven't really seen anything being discussed. And look, for all you people who say, why do you do videos every day? Oh, this has been touched on, this has been talked about. I'll tell you why, because some people only watch certain channels to get information on certain cases. All right. Some of you watch loads of them. Some of you watch through the 5-hour live streams that there are. Some people don't. They just simply don't have time. Some people also do not get notified on the multiple videos that I do. You know, I do multiple videos a day, most days, and some people may only watch one of them. They may miss the others. They may have only found my channel a few weeks ago, so they haven't seen anything else. Some people are still only just starting to find this case and reading into it. So that's why we still start talking about it. Anyway, I digress. Sidetracked. Alibis. Look, Brian Kohberger, people have a problem with his alibi because they're turning around and saying, look, he didn't really have an alibi. He's just turned around and said he's driving around. He could have just said he was sleeping. He could have just said he was sleeping. There is an argument with his alibi because he's kind of said he was driving around because maybe in the event that he's guilty, his car is out there. So if it got caught on a camera and there's a glimpse of him, he would have to explain that. Now, it might not be that he was seen in his car in Idaho, in Moscow, Idaho, and that will become a problem later on down the line if this actually gets to court, which at this stage is debatable. They still have to prove that that car in that camera is, in fact, Brian Kohberger's car. Because there are so many of these white Hyundai Elantras about. It's like a needle in a haystack. And you can bet your bollocks to a barn dance that if they bring that car up, the defense's argument is going to be, prove that that car in that camera, in that picture, is my client's. And if indeed it was seen in Washington or somewhere around Washington, it's not in Idaho. So we need to see a white Hyundai Elantra, and it's got to be white, not silver. Got to be a white Hyundai Elantra on a camera around the 1122 King Road house with Brian Kohberger in it. But Brian Kohberger, in the event that he's guilty of doing this, he's been quite clever by saying I was out driving, because ultimately you can't argue and say that people don't drive around at night or say that he doesn't have a right to drive around at night. But the flip side of that coin is, if he's an innocent man, then again, he could have just been driving around at night. And it's this kind of behavior, this weird behavior. Well, I say weird. It's not, I wouldn't go as far as saying it's weird, because who are we to say what's weird and what's not weird? But behavior that some people will certainly push as weird, being a nighttime driver, clearing his head, perhaps, whatever. But yeah, he's, it might have just been what he's doing. And we've always talked about this fact that he went into law enforcement and had what would be a 15-minute conversation, and then that conversation was ceased. Now, we don't know what was said in that conversation because they didn't record it. There's no recording of it. There's no video evidence of it, which is weird, again, because this is one of the biggest, if not the biggest, crime that this place has ever seen. And they've finally got their guy and get him in a room, and they don't bloody film it. Can you? No report. Hashtag no report. That's what I say about Moscow PD. But anyway, but then people are saying, look, why is it okay for someone to have a certain type of alibi, but then it's, like this alibi, that's not okay. This isn't. But then this person can just say they were sleeping. And what I will say is, look, I'm not saying that anyone's done anything. You know me, even with regards to Brian Kohberger. Innocent until proven guilty. Jack DeCure, there's no proof that he did anything. No proof that he did anything. And the families have stood by him through thick and thin and said, look, he's got nothing to do with it. And I've seen nothing that would prove otherwise. I've seen absolutely nothing that would say that Jack DeCure is someone to look at. However, the question still remains, because it's not just Jack. It is the likes of surviving roommates. And again, this ain't about fucking victim blame and all that shite. This is about trying to get your head round some of the elements of this case. And it is like...
Yeah, because some shit don't make sense.
Brian Kohberger,
100.
they find this knife sheath, there's DNA on it. This crime, from the vast majority of people, would be thinking, did he do it on his own?
Yeah.
Could he have done it on his own? Is it something that...
Hell, the fucking one we looked at last night. Dude took off. That's it.
If he's never killed before, never been involved in this before, and he's just got this K-bar knife, and he's gone in, he's done it, and seemingly done it in this space of time, could he have done it on his own? So they'd be thinking, well, did he have an accomplice? If indeed what he said when he was arrested about, is anybody else been arrested? Now, he might not have said that. We don't know, but that is something that we've heard. And that, to me, if he said that, changes a lot of things. Because first of all, it's almost like an admittance of guilt, because it's like, oh, you got me, did you get the others? Or it could have been him swerve balling it, and trying to throw, some doubt or some confusion in the mix, which is highly possible. But when you know that you've got 3 unidentified male DNA samples in that house, and one of them just happened to be in a fucking glove outside, Jesus. You do have to ask your question as to, well, why was his DNA so important, but that's all you thought? You didn't even think that, well, let's get this DNA, because that could help us to further nail down this DNA, because this DNA is going to be weak. It is going to be weak.
You would think they would put out a license plate if they wanted to catch the person right away, if they had a picture.
Because of what it is, and they should know that. They did know it. That's why there was contemplation over...
Show us the stock photo. Show us the grainy ass photo of the car that you claim was going here. Don't give us a fucking stock photo and say this is the car we're looking for and change it 3 freaking times. Give me a break.
For whether they would even bring it into the case itself. I can't understand why they didn't dig deeper into that DNA. And there's only so many things, and that is, would it point the finger at someone that they didn't want to be publicly had the finger pointed at them? And that's my skeptical mind. Anyway, I digress. Back to alibis. Point being that you've got these people around this case. You've got these conversations such as, what did you tell Adam? I told Adam everything. They're going to get you for this, that kind of conversation. And then a few hours later, they end up deceased. Then you've got phone calls, 6 or 7 phone calls from 2 of these victims to the boyfriend. And yes, you can turn around and say they were drunk. Perhaps they'd had a few drinks and it was about having these conversations. But when you factor them calls at that time, and then believing that just over an hour later they lost their lives, it makes you wonder what that call was about and why it seemed to be quite frantic, because you'd think maybe they would know that Jack would be asleep. If you've been with someone, if you've been in a relationship with somebody and you're thinking, you know what, they're asleep, there's no point in me ringing, because when they go to sleep they put the phone on silent. I know that there's certain people that I don't call after a certain time because the phone's just on silent. When they go to sleep it's off, so there's no point. It could be argued that when you've had a few drinks you perhaps don't think like that, but both of these girls are ringing Jack, both of them.
Both
And
of
Jack's
them.
alibi was that he was asleep.
Over and over and over and over and over.
And I wonder what process they have to go down to corroborate that. To absolutely corroborate it. And perhaps and again, I'm doing this video because you guys have asked the question. And you're asking me, what do I think about it? And my only real answer is that I would hope that when it comes to the court case itself, that they answer that question, that they tell you exactly that we know that he was asleep and we know that he was not involved because of this. Because the argument that he was asleep, we know that he can't be involved because we've got the killer hair. What happens if Brian Kohberger is found innocent again? What if they do prove beyond a reasonable doubt that it couldn't have been him, that something is amiss, that they did rush and they missed something?
They ain't gonna
Because
admit that.
again, and I say this all the time, Brian Kohberger didn't do it and somebody else did do it. And then
He
you're
would have
back
admitted
to
it
how
already.
did you clear these people so quickly, and how did you know they weren't involved? How do you know they're not involved? Back early on in the public addressing, where law enforcement, James Fry, was coming out and speaking to the public, he couldn't answer questions that were being thrown at him. And they were questions such as, why did the calls take so long? What was seen? What was not seen? Who was a witness? They're not witnesses. They didn't say anything.
Yeah.
But then later on, it turns out they did see it. And it's all these things that make you think, well, all of these people who were cleared.
Because they didn't know from the very beginning. That's why he couldn't answer most of the shit. Couldn't answer it, or we can't, it's for the integrity of the investigation. That's why every press conference that they kept having, I'm like, you ain't putting out a reward and you ain't putting out no profile. You definitely ain't saying shit in a press conference, because these people are asking really good freaking questions and you're just dodging them. And when you started off as an unalive, self-unalive, you don't even close the parking lot off until later. You change the vehicle a few times. I mean, did you ever really know? You knew enrollment was coming up.
They were cleared so quickly. How were they cleared so quickly? How can you even clear the likes of Bethany Funk and Dylan Morton?
Could have got the DNA from the coffee
that they
cup.
can have nothing to do with it. How do you know? How is that even possible? If Brian Kohberger simply said, I didn't do it, and he is proven to be innocent, how do you then go back up, and, was something missed here? I don't know. But again, the answer to that question, again, is hopefully in the court documentation, both of these things happen. Or they only really need to do one, that is to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that Brian Kohberger did this crime. That is all they really need to do. If they cannot do that, these questions are always going to exist. So they need to show the workings of how they cleared these people, how they know that they're not involved whatsoever. No, nothing.
Right. And that's all the freaking defense is asking for. That's all the defense is asking for, is show us. Show us. How could, Your Honor, how could we supply something that doesn't exist? What? Huh? What? I mean, all that is, everything you're saying is a possibility, Suzanne. And I keep bringing up the coffee cup from the store DNA. You touch it, you don't like it, put it back on the shelf. I come by, pick it up, I like it. I do the nasty thing, I don't wash it, and then I touch, bam, your shit's on my microphone right here. When you don't even know where the weapon is, you look at the injuries. How in the hell is a hello? So how do you know for sure it's a K-bar that committed the crime? Just because there's a sheet there. Sheets don't mean shit. Yeah, they didn't they didn't clear a lot of people. They just considered them not to be they were no longer interested. They were not persons of interest. So there was a new video from Chaos Sector that came out, and I haven't watched a Chaos Sector video for a while. And it has something to do with the 2 surviving roommates. So I have a feeling it's about kind of everything that's been coming out in this H.Blum article. So we're going to check this out. Then I'm going to get into this PCA. I'm going to reread the PCA again. Okay. Yolie, I don't know if you're available. If you are, you're more than welcome. I sent you a panel invite. And I will go ahead and open up panel here in a little bit to others. Let me see here. And if I know you're busy too, Unravel. If you'd like to hop up, just let me know in chat or reach out to me on Discord and I can send you a link. And we're going to be starting to take some live calls here. Probably this weekend. I'm thinking Saturday night. I'm going to open up the phone lines on Saturday night. What's up, Lisa? How you doing tonight? Google Voice has been really buggy lately. And it's not even like ringing, so hopefully I think maybe it was just the other computer because everything wasn't working right anymore. All right, so this is Chaos Sector. This has to do with the roommates here, Bethany and Dylan. And I'm wondering if it has to do with this Blum article. We'll see. Definitely show some love on it. I will send you put the link to the video in chat. And definitely go show some love. I love these Chaos Sector videos. I really do. They're so cool. I'm fair to partly... Aw, I'm sorry, Lisa.
Welcome to the Chaos Sector.
We don't even know.
I guess WSU Kim wants to make things difficult when it can be very simple. The individual named Sis233 is the one assumed to be WSU Kim.
Whoa.
This person has been posted.
Hold on, I'm going to slow this down a little bit. And we're going to put some closed captioning up on here too. Slow down, lady. Alright, here we go. Aw, I'm sorry, Lisa. Saturday evening, maybe.
Welcome to the Chaos Sector.
Let me double check my schedule. I'll double check my schedule after the show, typically, and I'll let you know for sure. Let me get into my schedule once I'm done.
I guess WSU Kim wants to make things difficult when it can be very simple. The individual named Sis233 is the one assumed to be WSU Kim. This person has been posting comments on our episodes. Here is her recent post in response to our request.
What?
Quote, I don't have a channel. And no, I will not address you. You are using my name and words without permission. You may interview me, but I will not post my own video. You're not correct in your statements or interpretation of me. I have not lied, and my daughter has not lied. My daughter learned from her sorority sister, who discovered from Pi Phi, that has always been what I stated, unquote. Well, ma'am, you just lied in this post. The first words out of your mouth were you don't have a channel. You're posting a comment from a channel.
Oh,
That channel was created November 19th of last year, 6 days after the murders. So you obviously felt the need to engage on YouTube, right? Did you
come on.
intend to post content about it? Or did you somehow expect to lurk?
Let's not be literal. Come on, let's not be literal. She had to have meant she didn't have a channel where she does streams. I mean, come on.
Around posting comments,
Come
presenting yourself as WSU Kim? If you are claiming to be WSU Kim, you do realize people will check your channel out, right?
Oh, cool.
You have
Lisa.
WSU Mom Kim as your handle.
What's up?
So you want to be recognized as WSU Kim, but attempt to be anonymous at the
know
same
what I'm
time? See, this is the problem with you. If you are going to publicly identify as someone who has obtained vital information in this case, then stand firm with that. Don't attempt to masquerade as if you're someone posing as WSU Kim.
Oh.
And then, you stated you will not post your own video? You do realize that everyone in the true crime community wants you to, right? We know you want to, because it's the right thing to do. Not only for you, but for the true crime community, as you would be able to clarify everything to them. It also allows you to speak freely, without feeling pressured. But hey, it's your call. I personally don't see you as a liar, I see you as someone being, quote, elusive. My colleagues may think differently though, and this is the problem with your image. Some think you're genuine, others think you're lying, and others think you're stuck in the middle. All of these perceptions could be cleansed with a personal video. Briefly, many have claimed that Dylan was in fact a Pi Phi. Well, the problem here, the news reports don't classify her as being a part of a sorority. Quote, both Mortensen and Funk were roommates of the 3 slain girls, and Funk was in the same sorority, Pi Beta Phi, as Kernodle and Mogan. Unquote. Pay attention to terminology here. It says, quote, Mortensen and Funk were roommates of the 3 slain girls, and Funk was in the same sorority. The term, and, is establishing a distinction of a particular housemate, being Bethany. Now, if Dylan was a Pi Phi, then this would be established, right? They established that Bethany was a part of a sorority. This is a clear distinction between Bethany and Dylan, as one was a part of a sorority, while the other wasn't. Once again, so you can truly understand. How would the news know that Bethany was a part of a sorority? Because it either came by way of what the authorities gave the news, or a journalist, or investigator, obtained this information. But Dylan would also be recognized, and reported as being, a part of a sorority. Now we did a bit of digging, and discovered photos on Facebook that indicate Dylan was a Pi Phi, or so it appeared. But we have to acknowledge how Dylan was not, I repeat, was not, recognized as being a part of a sorority, like Bethany was, in all news articles. Why is there a distinction between the two, if both were in the same sorority? There wouldn't be a distinction, because they are sorority sisters. Going back to the article, it would state, quote, both Bethany and Dylan were members of Pi Phi, as Kernodle and Mogan, unquote. It doesn't say this though, it only has Bethany as a member of the same sorority. Now Dylan apparently became a Pi Phi around 2021, so she was actually a sophomore last year. But once again, if she had joined approximately 2 years ago, wouldn't the reports describe her as a sorority member, like Bethany? Can anyone explain this oddity? What could be the reason for this omission? We're trying to figure out why she wasn't reported as being a part of a sorority, the same one that Bethany was reported as being a part of. Something is suspicious with her sisterhood. We will get back to that in another episode, because I have a theory about it. But let's address something recent. Apparently, authorities have a receipt that Koberger had from Walmart, which included a jumpsuit. Oh really?
Work suit, which is a work suit that covers you from your neck to your legs and your arms. And the police are now hypothecating that Koberger wore this work suit, the Sticky's work suit, which she bought for $49.99 at a Walmart in Pullman, Washington. He wore this during the killings, and then afterwards he took it off, threw it into his trunk, perhaps in a garbage bag, and that's why there was no blood in his apartment or in his...
Listen to me
And there was no blood in the trunk either, right, sir? I mean, come on.
carefully here.
There was
There
no blood
isn't
in
a
the trunk.
jumpsuit, plain and simple.
There was no blood in the trunk.
Just another deflection tactic used by the prosecution, and it's working, I see. Many in the truth.
Right. It's a frickin' tactic, just like they were using News Nation and all these other frickin' platforms to be pumping out this shit. Get the man guilty before he's even fucking in trial, publicly. And then you got people like this doing dangerous ass shit, man.
Plain and simple. Just another deflection tactic used by
Right.
the prosecution, and it's working, I see. Many in the true crime community have flocked to that so-called news, which is considered evidence. I'm a bit disappointed to see them run with that, without asking key questions. For one, why wasn't this jumpsuit mentioned in the list of items confiscated during the raid at Koberger's home? Or even at his parents' home? They listed gloves, bags, even department store receipts from Walmart and Marshall's. But, let me tell you what they did, because these people are psycho-criminals. They used the receipt from Walmart, and claimed the purchase from Walmart was the Myers jumpsuit. We wouldn't know what was purchased, because we can't physically see the receipt. So you have to take their word for it.
Koberger wore this work suit, the Sticky's work suit, which he bought for $49.99 at a Walmart in Pullman, Washington. He wore this during the killings, and then afterwards he took it off, threw it into his trunk, perhaps in a garbage bag, and that's why there was no blood in his apartment or in his...
Yeah, nice try. In addition, Koberger wouldn't keep that receipt, he would trash it. If it was a purchase of clothing, he...
Maybe not, though, because he forgot to... He studied forensics, and he walked out of his frickin' apartment and forgot to shut his phone off. And instead of turning around and going back home and bringing the phone back inside, he just decided to shut it off en route. They're not gonna know. Yeah, he kept the receipt, of course. Mementos, right?
He would use to commit murders in.
Give me a break.
The grand jury apparently provided the Gonzalez family with this so-called Walmart receipt.
Give me a break.
Now the grand jury can subpoena documents, but this is the problem. If this is what occurred, then there is a conflict of interests here.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because those documents have to come from an evidence locker, which Moscow PD handed over to the prosecution. Where else did they obtain that Walmart receipt? It's the same receipt from the search warrant on Koboga's home. So it's
They retained it from up here. That's where they got it from.
likely that the prosecution gave that to the grand jury, making it appear they requested the documents, yet in reality, they gave it to them. The same team that consists of Bill Thompson, who stated the additional 3 male DNA samples were irrelevant. I have a hunch that Bill Thompson is behind this. Then, H.Blum comes out and claims that receipt consists of a Myers jumpsuit, a purchase of $49.99, yes, so specific. He figures if he gives an exact cost, then it verifies that the purchase was made. And then, states that Moscow PD suggests that Koboga used that Myers jumpsuit in the murders, and dumped it after he committed the crime. Do you see this madness? But as mentioned, this Myers jumpsuit was never listed in the search warrant. Although it's a receipt, well, it's the same receipt they identified as the Myers jumpsuit, right? This was in the evidence locker, from the search warrant. The news would report that Koboga purchased a jumpsuit from Walmart, as Moscow PD had already publicly released the list of items seized at the home. Are you following so far? It wasn't a jumpsuit. They are just making things up as they progress through the trial. This is absolutely ridiculous.
It is.
We see through it all.
Yep.
Here is the key question
do.
you must ask
I do.
yourself if you're investigating this murder case. 3 male DNA samples were discovered at the home. These 3 male DNA samples were obviously identified, but they weren't publicly
Weren't qualified, right?
identified.
Yeah, okay. They weren't qualified, but somehow you had to send his shit. Well, not his shit. You had to send the shit, the other DNA sample, to a cold case lab because you only had a couple skin cells. But the other ones weren't qualified. Okay.
And Taylor inquired about those additional 3 male DNAs at the home,
Not
and
qualified.
guess what Bill Thompson said to the judge? Well, Your Honor,
I didn't think that was relevant.
this is all you need to know. Don't fall into the rabbit hole of this recent nonsense regarding a Walmart receipt. It's all a distraction. The defense has them in a corner, because if those 3 male DNA samples are publicly identified, and it's revealed that those individuals were spotted by Bethany and Dylan, based on WSU Kim's claims, we have our murderers, or at least accessories to the murders. Where has WSU Kim's claims gone in this case? Can't live with her, can't live without her.
Right, Tiffany? They thought you know what, Tiffany? They got used to fucking having this shit done and over with in the past, all these years, you know what I mean? They got used to having all this shit done and over with. No. Because look at some of the other cases from before. Same kind of shit. I need to get me a freaking Christmas stocking and put a bunch of crumpled up paper in it so I can just start showing you guys that. There's my prop. Open it up. Crumpled up paper. Look, it looks all full. Got a bunch of toys in it. Yeah, cool. Nothing. Give me a fucking break.
To be honest.
My opinion.
We just want her to be honest, and we can all work together to get justice for those housemates. Think about this for a moment. WSU Kim's claims of the housemates being awake during those murders is a fact. Our investigation proved they were awake, even before we knew who WSU Kim was.
Thank you, Susan.
So she's telling the truth there. Which brings me to what has been claimed about Bethany and Dylan. There are claims that Bethany and Dylan were texting each other during the murders.
Steve's investigation has also found out some more evidence. He's Since the beginning of this case, one of the great mysteries is,
This
and
is so
has been,
dangerous from
two
this dude.
roommates survived.
So
One of
dangerous.
them, according to a police affidavit, saw the killer walk through the house.
See, if that shit's not true, if that shit is not fucking true, dude, not cool. How can you feel good as a journalist or even somebody on this platform? How can you feel good saying some shit like that if it's not true? If it's not true, I don't know. I'm not standing at the water cooler, but I just assume it's not true. And if it isn't, that is so dangerous. Not only possibly tainting a jury member in the future, because they ain't picking jury members right now. They haven't even started. So let's be real. Everybody is a possible jury member. They ain't even started sending fucking notices out. Possibly tainting a potential juror member. You're putting these two ladies' lives at risk, regardless how long it took them to call. We already know. We've already discussed that part. But putting these girls' safety in danger because of the fucking Johnny Manziel, it is disgusting. Whether it's on this platform or whether it's on fucking New York Times or whatever frickin' paper this dude writes in, any of it. It could be a damn blog post. Disgusting. If it's true. But it doesn't seem true because with his frickin' response to what he was saying. Oh! Let everybody remember. I said I never talked to them. I'm just simply saying something from somebody that's close to them. That's dangerous as fuck, bro. Dangerous.
She stares at him, and then she goes back to her room, and for the next 8 hours, nothing happened. Well, according to what Kaylee's father is.
But still, it doesn't matter. That's what I'm saying, Susan. It doesn't matter if you're just writing a damn blog post and two people are looking at it. There's a responsibility with these platforms, whether it's through paper, whether it's through a YouTube show, whether it's through a TikTok video, whether it's through any of it. There's a responsibility that comes with these platforms. There's ethics, there's responsibilities, man, I tell you what, I could probably have some of the most interesting fucking shows if I just said everything that came in my email inbox. Oh my gosh, I can imagine the frickin' shows that I would be having if I just had a show on frickin' emails about the shit that I get sent to me. Oh my gosh, the shows would be amazing. They would be frickin' amazing. There's ethics with this. There's ethics with this. It's not cool. These are people's lives. This is real shit. Dangerous. I don't care if he writes for frickin' the Sun and Inquirer or whatever the frickin' Star magazine. It doesn't matter. No. You have a responsibility.
Is found. There's been evidence presented.
That's why I don't entertain a lot of this other shit. I'm not saying it don't exist. I just need more evidence. You're talking about respect for the victims' families. Come on.
Presented to the grand jury that says that these two roommates
Integrity,
during the
right?
course of this murder were texting to one another, and that at one point they
knows
even
better than
sent
that,
a text saying, "Oh my gosh, I think someone's being killed." And if this is accurate, because again, this is what Steve has found at the grand jury, if it's accurate, it raises a really troubling question. They knew that something was happening in the house. If they suspected that someone was being murdered,
Oh, for sure. I mean, seriously, sleuthing. I felt from the beginning, like when I started fucking realizing all this bullshit from News Nation, I'm like, because we always were going, who's Banfield's sources? Who's Banfield's sources? Remember that, guys? Who's Banfield's sources? Oh, is it Reddit? Oh, is it Twitter? Oh, is it Facebook groups? Oh, is it? No. They were being fed this shit. Like I said before, you get him guilty in public opinion before you even have a frickin' trial. How hard is it going to be to convict somebody when everybody fucking going in is already damn tainted? It takes people like us, because no other news nations or fucking news stations are talking about none of this shit but us on YouTube. It takes us on YouTube to have these real conversations about the shit that doesn't make sense, to say, no, this is not what's fucking true. Oh, look, we go to a fucking video last night. Look, everybody, the headline is not matching what's being said. Pay attention. You know what I mean? Of course, this is probably some of it. When you're in court and the defense is asking you, sorry, how can we? I mean, you saw Chaos Sector just play it. You got the coroner changing her fucking story every time. How do you know what's freaking true and what's not? Hell, you got a car at two places at the same time in two different freaking towns. How does that even? What? Of course it could happen. Of course.
why did they wait 8 hours before informing the police?
I don't even want to hear. I don't even want to hear this fucking part no more. I'm sorry. This dude, no.
But they also discovered 3 additional DNA male samples, but didn't publicly identify those males.
Right, Katrina?
What police department would do such a thing? One that has identified those 3.
And then when she's asked, oh, do you have, from a reporter, do you have any kind of experience into this? Oh, yeah, we've had a few. Really? Was one of them the one that you did an autopsy on? And then you represented the defendant? Is that one of them?
3 males, matched it with the 3 individuals at the home that night, and simply covered it all up. And this is a very devastating attack from the defense. Bill Thompson stated his team will provide Taylor those DNA results.
Right.
Since then, there has not been any updates on who those 3 males were. Apparently the grand jury provided the Gonzalez family with this so-called Walmart receipt. For what?
I got a Walmart receipt too.
It doesn't prove that Kohberger murdered anyone, more than his
I got a Walmart receipt for an Orange Dickies t-shirt. How about that?
DNA found in the home, right? So why would they give this to the Gonzalez family? Oh, because Steve wanted to make sure they had the right person? And the grand jury felt that a Walmart receipt of a jumpsuit purchase proved his guilt? Come on, don't be fooled by this nonsense. It wasn't to convince the Gonzalez family, rather, it was to convince the public that Kohberger is guilty. They figure if they claim he had purchased a Michael Myers jumpsuit, This justifies his so-called strategic plan to murder those housemates. Yet and still, decides to drive a light bulb at night to commit those murders? This is
I got it. I'll be brief.
I love these.
To claim
videos.
that Bethany and Dylan
I
had
got it.
texted each other is playing with fire.
Yeah,
But they were playing with fire from the beginning.
right, they were.
Based on their claim, Bethany and Dylan were physically texting each other during the murders, right? Now, this changes the entire chain of events, and what Dylan's accounts state. That fire will burn, my friends. You best not play with it. But they are stuck in a corner, with the fire coming down on them. They're texting each other about the murders, which means they're aware of the fucking housemates being murdered in real time, and that brings about the initial question: why didn't anyone call 911? Okay, that just magnifies that even more. But the more important issue here is Dylan accounts of thinking Kaylee was playing with her dog, hearing cries and whimpers, and a male's voice, is all a lie. Mind you, if they are texting about the murders, during the murders, then we have to reimagine the entire setting in the home. In addition, you know what? Let's just listen to this nonsense.
According to what Kaylee's father has found, there has been evidence presented to the grand jury that says that these two roommates, during the course of this murder, were texting to one another, and that at one point they even sent a text saying, "Oh my gosh, I think someone's being killed." And
That is so dangerous if it's not true. My gosh, that is so dangerous if it's not true. You know, there's some times where it seems like I'm being rude as fuck when people are coming in and talking like this in my shows, and I'm not being rude. It's not about being rude. It's about you need to just slow down. You know what I mean? Not saying it's not true. I'm not at the water cooler, but damn. Where was your response to this, Howard Bloom? Why are you responding backing up when you should have been responding standing strong, sir? That's why I feel like it's a bunch of bullshit, because of your response. You didn't stand up. You reminded people that you were backed away. That's what you did. There's a difference. That's why I think it's bullshit. Dangerous, man. Dangerous.
and if this is accurate,
Oh yeah, if it were accurate, then this would mean Moscow PD knew that Dylan and Bethany knew their housemates were being murdered. And this fuckface
Dangerous.
is trying to condition the public into scrutinizing Bethany and Dylan,
See
but
what I'm
won't
saying?
scrutinize the Moscow PD who concealed this information from the public.
We're right here, Chaos. We're right here.
Remember, they had all phone records from everyone, including the victims. They reviewed Bethany and Dylan's phone records. We could suggest weeks following the murders.
Come on now.
So
That is
Moscow
so
PD
dangerous,
was aware
man.
that the survivors were
These two ladies out here. Oh my gosh. These two ladies out here. I can't imagine. They were all. Listen, I understand. 8 hours, da 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 da. We don't fucking know. But damn, man. This is people's safety, and shit like this is fucking major. So
aware
dangerous.
that their
I'm
housemates
sorry.
were being
It's just
murdered.
dangerous. I can't believe it.
Shouldn't they be deemed potential
Who?
suspects?
Who would know?
Dylan and Bethany are held accountable, but Moscow PD are held accountable to a higher degree, because they concealed this evidence. They are law enforcement, and if Dylan and Bethany obstructed justice, what do you think Moscow PD did here? Funny how this so-called evidence is allowed to be given in court, but Bethany wasn't allowed to testify. And to make matters worse, they're trying to throw Bethany under the bus on top of that. I know why. See, They know Dylan accounts contradict what happened that night.
Hmm.
If she were summoned to court and questioned by the defense, everything blows up in the prosecution's face. So to execute damage control, they make it seem as if Bethany and Dylan were conspiring together. But we don't see it that way, my friends. Bethany and Dylan were not together, because one of them was seen with Bonnie and Clyde later that morning. And it wasn't Bethany. Dylan infiltrated Pi Phi, became drug buddies with Bonnie and Clyde, presented a proposition to the housemates about making easy money, and allowing the house to become a base for drug trafficking, and ended up suffering deadly consequences. It started with Dylan negotiating with Bonnie and Clyde, and ended with all of them standing outside that morning. This is why people tried to debunk Dot's claims, because she stated she saw Dylan, Emma, a black male, and two other males standing outside that morning. This indicates that Dylan was associated with Bonnie and Clyde. Since they are drug pushers, it's not hard to figure out why they were there that morning. The prosecution fears the truth will come out. Everyone
Talked
knows it
about
was
this
drug
last
related,
night.
but this conflicts with the innocent image of the victims. Nobody wants that to be revealed.
Now that's some bullshit right there. This is that Dot shit, everybody. Right here. Yeah, that's why I had a show ready for those two a long time ago. It is interesting. We probably should go into one here soon. But this whole shit right here, this is Dot. I don't know why people are still believing this Dot shit. I really don't. I had to leave the video up there so people could hear the real freaking conversation, because a couple channels wanted to twist and edit shit to make it seem like Dot was being real. But if I had to leave the real conversation up there, because it's like, yo, you need to listen to the real fucking conversation. And if your ass comes away thinking that that shit's real, then you need to go to cooking shows, because you're not helping out true crime. If you really go to Dot show and you think that that shit's real, you're not helping true crime. You just need to go to cooking shows, figure out, sleuth your recipes, okay? Sleuth recipes. That way, if you fuck up banana peels for, vanilla extract, you're not fucking shit up. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna taste funny. You ain't fucking anything up, right? Stick to freaking cooking shows. Yeah, this is freaking Dot shit. We're not listening to Dot shit.
Back to the Dateline NBC special regarding a close friend of Koberger. They claim that a female friend of Koberger had her home broken into, and Koberger was the culprit. How in the world was he identified as the home invader?
All right, and that's some more Dateline bullshit. So we're done with that. We're done with that. I mean, we got some useful shit out of that, that's for sure. I'm going to see if there's anything breaking real quick. And then we're going to get into the PCA. Yolie, if you're not busy, I sent you a link to the email. And I'm going to get reading into this PCA. Looking to see if there's anything breaking news real quick. I've been told I need to cover the Crystal Rogers case. I think Laura in chat had reached out to me on Silky's show and mentioned about covering that case, so I might have to do that. We're going to be having a Stephen Smith episode coming soon. I've had this video for a few days now with some new updates, and we haven't been able to get into it. So probably do that we're going to have Silky Southern Tea tomorrow morning. Let me share that link with you guys real quick, and then we'll get into the PCA. Definitely come hang out on this one tomorrow. This is Silky Southern Tea and Coach Kev at 11 a.m. Central, noon Eastern, and we're going to be talking Delphi Odinism discussion. Silky Southern Tea and Coach Kev. It's going to be a very interesting conversation. Be a good show. And then we got one coming with the architect Friday morning too, talking about a different case. All right. So let me see here. Let's see what we got. And I'm not seeing anything. So we don't have anything that is breaking. So we're going to get into this PCA here. Zoom it back just a little bit. Let me switch the screen. Get you full. We'll get rid of this thing. Kaboom. Pull this up. Slap this over here. And we are good. There we go. All right. So we're going to get reading into this PCA again here. You know what? I think I like having me up here. Hold on. Let's go up here. Yeah. That looks good, right? We'll do that. Here, let's go. Let's go like this. Let's go. We'll kind of shrink it up a little bit. Let's go like that. Boom. Oh, Yolie's joining. What's up, Yolie?
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good.
Kind of hard hearing you.
I have wireless headphones, so see how this.
Ooh.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, it's got some kind of feedback or something.
No.
Yeah. So we're going to read the PCA again here. Then we're going to go in there. Idaho4 revealed had a video about, is Scott Green going to keep his promise about waiting to hold off on demolishing the property? I don't think so. I think the dude's just trying to bite time. Whatever he can do to bite it. What date was the PCA filed? It was December 29th? Right?
Yeah,
December 29th.
Is there an echo?
Yeah, it's kind of like breaking up, and it's...
Oh, dear.
It sounds like you're really far away.
How about now?
You can just keep talking. It's a little harder to hear you, but I can still hear you. Yeah, 12/29/2022.
Well, should I stay or go?
No, you can stay up here. You're fine. Yeah.
Okay, you can hear me.
Yeah. All right. So here's the link to the PCA. All right. There we go. They need to leave the house up. Of course. That's how I feel. Like, that's what I've been saying. Like, when have you heard of them tearing a house down? You know what I'm saying? Like, when have you heard of them doing that before it takes place? Come on. And especially, like, seriously, think about it. If this text message shit is true, do you not think it's in... Ooh. Yeah, getting some kind of feedback from you.
Oh, I don't know if this is...
What was I saying? Shit, I lost train of thought. What am I thinking? Shit, what was I saying?
You're talking about
The what?
the house.
Oh yeah. If these text messages are true, don't you think it's pretty important to have the house still up so they can hear noises between the walls and stuff? I mean, I know that they had to remove some of the flooring and some of the drywall and stuff because of the crime. But I think it'd still be important, even if you're going from second floor to third floor, or third floor to first, or second floor to first floor. Just because some of the wall and floor might be missing, you're still going to have a good idea of how sound travels in there. Oh yeah, yeah, because they were the morning. Think about it, right? They arrested him at 3 a.m. Okay, they didn't have the cleaning crew there at 3 a.m. When did they have the cleaning crew there? 6:30, 7 a.m. They didn't have it at 3 a.m. They were trying to get that shit cleaned up, slapped, done, demolished as soon as they got him arrested. Yeah. Come on. Yeah, it was later that morning. They had hours, and then all of a sudden, and then at the press conference where, because they were announcing the arrests, and at the press conference, how come there was a crew how come the cleaning crew was, oh, that's because it was from the courts. Yeah, because the lady that started representing him before he was even in Idaho or even on a plane to Idaho went up and said, yo, you need to shut this shit down. Made them people leave and had her own little team there looking around. Who knows what they already had started, because remember, they were working on that almost until that court hearing or the press conference started. It was very close. Very close. And that's probably why they didn't start the press conference earlier, because it was supposed to start earlier, and then it got bumped back, probably because they were dealing with the courts, and the courts were like, yo, dude, what are you doing? What are you doing? They know better. It's like a kid putting his freaking hand in a candy jar, and then he looks at it like, sorry, I didn't know. I didn't hear you say I couldn't have it. Yeah, you did. The hell you did. No, I didn't. Yeah, you did. No, I didn't. Okay, yeah. Echoes. It's got to echo, Brandywine. I'm sorry, everybody, but you look at a house that was built 100 years ago, and you look at a house that was built even 20 years ago, 30 years ago, they're built like shit. I'm going to be honest with you. They're built like fucking shit. Like, watch a house as it's built. Watch how much plywood doesn't get used on your fucking walls. And what this foam fake ass wall shit is used for. You'd be amazed. You'd be like, damn. Here, I thought the whole house was nothing but plywood and walls. Oh no. They got fucking foam in all sorts of different places and shit. They fucking... And they... Cheap. You can hear shit through the walls. You can hear shit through the floors. We've had other people on the show that have even been at the residence at 1122 before the roommates even lived there. We've had people on the show that have been or hung around that property, and every single one of them have said the wall, you can hear through the walls. You could hear through the floors.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. They probably were both in agreement the prosecution and the defense to tear down that house because, um, I mean, the prosecution doesn't want the defense.
Ooh,
I
you're
mean,
crackling.
the defense doesn't want to sign the bad connection. I'll have to do it
Yeah,
on my
it's
phone.
really crackly. Yeah, go ahead and do that. It's pretty crackly.
Okay, let me get off.
Sorry. Yeah, the wireless ones never really work out good. I don't know why. Maybe because it's StreamYard. On Zoom, I'm sure they, Zoom or Skype or hell, probably even Facebook, I'm sure they work great. But for some reason, I don't know. It seems like with StreamYard, for some reason, wireless just doesn't seem to work for some reason. No padding, absolutely. Exactly, Susan. No, I mean, I'm sure that it's probably StreamYard because anybody that does join with wireless on StreamYard, I don't know, for some reason, it's got this crackle to it. I don't know why. Yeah, that might be it, a crappy mic from the wireless. Because I know I can't even use mine. Hell, when I was doing my driving and shit, humongous audio difference when you're driving because I used my wireless earbuds for one of my drives. I think it was DeSale University. When we went to DeSale University, I used my wireless earbuds and I was like, oh my gosh. After the show was done, I was like, no. So they might, though. They might have crappy microphones. Here, in the meantime, I'm going to switch to we're going to get, since we were talking about green, I'm going to wait till Yolie hops back up and then we'll do the PCA. I'm going to switch to this video from Idaho4 Revealed. And this is talking about Scott Green and the demo. Oh, the music's going to kill me. It's going to hit me. That's all right.
The families grieve. There is one thing that is making that process a little more difficult. The University of Idaho now owns the home where Maddie, Kaylee, Ethan, and Xana were murdered last November. The school plans to move forward with razing the house. Gray says 3 of the families want it preserved until after the trial. Despite the prosecution and the defense telling the court they approved of the crime scene being released.
We have made it very clear to the University of Idaho that we do not want that house to be demolished, and they are ignoring us completely. And when I say ignoring them, I mean that they respond and they say, okay, yeah, we understand what you're saying, but basically tough cookie. We're going to go ahead forward with it because they say that it's for the good of the community and good for the University of Idaho, but it's not. It's not the good for the community or the University of Idaho. It may be good for the University of Idaho for everyone to hurry up and forget that there was a murder that occurred right off campus, but it's not for the victims' families. And that's a massive piece of evidence. And we've stressed to them over and over about the Carnudo family, the Mogan family, and the Gonzalez family do not want that house to be demolished. And they're moving forward anyway. They just don't really care. It's always been a little bit of a hurry up and grieve. We need to move on as the University of Idaho. So, I think it's frustrating. I think that I know that the prosecution and the defense have released and the court has released the home to the University of Idaho because neither party is, I think, has made any objection to the demolition of the home.
Thank you, Dana. So it says, we have discussed this among ourselves and with the investigation leadership and have no objection to UI proceeding as you outlined. As you know, the court has already released a scene from LE custody based on a stipulation of the parties. Remember I said Mad Libs, everybody? Do you guys remember playing Mad Libs? You know, it was when you got the books that you were choose your own adventure books. You got some Mad Libs too, right? Come on now. This is just like it right here. Thank you, Idaho4 Revealed. I appreciate that. It looks great.
And it's frustrating.
Oh, it's over.
Myself and the families, and them not really hearing us, but acting like they are. So we just, we want to let people know that we are adamantly against them demolishing that home, even though they have every right to do so. But if they think that they're doing it on behalf of the community or the victims' families, it's not true. They think it's for the best of the community and the best for the University of Idaho to move on and I guess try to erase the fact that there was a quadruple homicide right off of campus. Probably business motivated. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's.
The defense has no objection to the university proceeding as it sees fit with the residents on King Road. Ann Taylor addresses the University of Idaho about their wishes to destroy the crime scene at 1122 King Road on August 5th, 2023. Humming exit, everybody. Yeah. Boop.
The home was processed by Idaho State Police and held for many months. It's been under guard 24 hours a day since the morning of the murders. At one point, it was going to be released to the property owners, but the court halted that process at the request of the defense. The families are concerned it could still be needed for trial.
A big piece of evidence that, potentially a jury might want to see it. I mean, there's sights and sounds and viewpoints and angles. It's an odd shaped house where witnesses were standing, where, potentially the defendant was standing, locations, how you could hear something, how you couldn't hear it, if there was video or any other evidence outside, what was the vantage point of those videos, if they picked up audio or anything. So a lot of things I think are important about that home. And we've just stressed, just hold on, wait till the trial is over and then do whatever you want with the property. But they will not listen.
I spoiled you guys too much doing those other two. I'm not doing it this time. I'm not doing it. Scott Green said, every decision we have made this far is with the families of the victims and our students in mind. My ass. That's the guy I was saying he was trying to fake forced tears and it wasn't happening because you didn't see the cheek getting wiped. Come on now. A spokesperson for the university told Court TV's Chanley Painter that if the trial is delayed, the school would reconsider at that point. Well, I would say it's pretty delayed now, isn't it? Probably. We'll see. We will see. We will see. Now, we reached out to him before on email, got blocked. Got blocked. Okay. Just because I asked a question? Why, sir? Okay. Thank you for being here tonight, everybody. I appreciate you so much. Thank you. Oh, I'm supposed to read this part. My bad. We at Revealed have heard the opinions belonging to 3 separate law officers and one very influential man who has recently been gifted with a crime scene. 2. The victims in this case, represented by their parents and respective families, have an active interest in the case bearing the title, The People of the State of Idaho versus Brian Christopher Kohberger. And 3. Neither state nor legal representative to the defendant Kohberger have expressed there being any evidentiary value to the house where the crimes took place to help the triers of fact decide the fate of a young male who was innocent at this very moment. And yet, does it not feel as if he has already been tried and proven guilty? Good question. Good question. Number 4, if Brian was not in the house at 1122 King Road, Brian Kohberger is being mistreated as Ethan, Zana, Kaylee, and Madison for never caring about securing justice in this case. If Ann Taylor is in agreement with the state's decision to scrap a crime scene, which was crazy to us, right? That was crazy. We wonder if he is being underrepresented. Until now, I don't think so. I never thought that since he was in PA paperwork. We are stating, this is them, we are stating to see how the Idaho4 were regarded by different types of people circulating throughout the story. We see the same with Brian Kohberger. Deep Thoughts by Evil CJ and Idaho4 Revealed. Five, how is Brian Kohberger being replaced, recreated by accusations, rumors, exaggerations, and innuendos in order to stoke the ear of public opinion? What I've been saying since all this News Nation bullshit. That's facts. How similar is this treatment to the way that each of the Idaho4 were and still being treated? This would put defendant and victims on the same side if he is innocent being framed, while all of you are okay with the people that committed the crime remaining among you? No. 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 Psst.
Cold feet.
Whoa!
Fail me
No,
now.
I'm sorry, we can't do that. But yeah, Mad Libs right there. Yeah, we can't do that. We cannot do that music. No. Okay, it's probably just going to play music the rest of the time. I do, Sally. I believe it was 3. I believe it was 3. I think it was 3 to 425, Sally. That's what I think. That's what I think. Boom. Boom. Yeah, the music. All right. So, did you want to try hopping up with your phone, Yolie? Boom. Okay. Boom. Let's see if there's anything breaking news going out right now. Let's see what's up. Then we'll have Yolie hopping up here. We'll read through this PCA. Boom. 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 And I'm going to play, you know what? In the meantime, while she's doing that, I want to play this video real quick. Since we were talking about it. The coroner. We'll do the coroner video real quick. Boom. Boom. Definitely come hang out tomorrow, 11 a.m. Central, 12 p.m. Eastern. I'll be having Silky, Southern Tea, and Coach Kev on. We're going to be talking Delphi Odinism tomorrow. Let's watch this real quick.
M-A-B-B, Kathy, with a C, Mabbutt, M-A-B-B-U-T-T.
And I'm going to ask you, how long have you been doing this for?
I've been doing it for 16 years, and I just got reelected for another 4.
Yeah, reelected.
So what is it that, or I guess, when did you get the call on Sunday?
I got the call just a few minutes after noon that there were 4 homicides, but I didn't go to the scene because of law enforcement doing their investigation first. So I didn't actually go to the scene until about 5 or 5:30.
Can you walk us through, like, for our viewers, kind of the process between when police show up and then you guys getting the bodies and doing their examination?
Sure. Well, law enforcement goes through and looks for any evidence, takes videos and pictures of everything in there, and they'll start talking with people. So I don't really need to be there for that. They can't move the bodies. I mean, the bodies have to stay.
She said that they take videos of everything?
So those are really...
Here, I'll rewind it.
That's what my job is.
She don't know what the hell she's saying. She don't.
She goes, they go in and take...
Like, for our viewers, kind of the process between when police show up and then you guys getting the bodies and doing their...
This is the one that did an autopsy and then represented the defendant. That's no bullshit.
Sure. Well, law enforcement goes through and looks for any evidence, takes videos and pictures of everything in there, and they'll start talking with people. So I don't really need to be there for that. They can't move the bodies. I mean, the bodies have to stay as they were until the coroner gets there. So those are really what my job is, to look at the
As
bodies.
a coroner, do you guys do the autopsies and all that?
No, we some do if they're an actual medical examiner, but we have forensic pathologists and we contract with Spokane to do that.
So, in your experience, what is it that you saw when you showed up?
Well, there was a lot of blood. It was it's a very sad scene with 4 murdered college students.
You're running all 4 deaths on site?
Yes.
And can you give us a manner of death?
I believe that the press release was that they were from a sharp object. So
static.
Yeah, we'll know more after the autopsies tomorrow.
Deflection.
So
static.
yes.
And can you give us a manner of death?
I believe that the press release was that they were from a sharp object. So
From the press release?
Right, from a sharp object.
From
She
the
didn't
press release.
She didn't say blunt.
She said from
Yeah.
the press release.
Yeah.
All 4 deaths on site?
yes.
How about your own observations?
Mm-hmm.
I believe that the press release was that they were from a sharp object.
That's bullshit.
Because she can't. This is why her story changed so many times every time she did an interview, because she couldn't tell you what she saw.
Boy, I've never heard a
She
coroner
couldn't tell
refer to-
you what she saw.
Yeah, I can't even think about this right now. She's a coroner and she's referring to what her thoughts are based on the press release.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't make any sense.
No.
God, every time I keep seeing these videos, I keep finding more and more things. It's just, it's nuts.
That's why I saved it for tonight and put it in the title, because I was like, yeah, we're gonna watch this little video again. It's crazy. It's crazy.
It's nuts.
Yeah,
What's up, Sue?
We'll know more after the autopsies tomorrow.
Did she even go?
Like a murder suicide or
No, there are 4 homicides.
And when it comes to doing the investigation post autopsy, that falls on you, correct?
Yeah, I'm sorry. A blunt object is not a K-bar knife, right? Just saying. It's not a K. It's not a K-bar knife.
Yes. It's my job to determine the manner and mechanism of death.
Blunt
Oh God,
object
we're in trouble.
is a golf club. That's a blunt object.
It's my job to determine the manner and mechanism of death.
And then I know with toxicology results, there can often be, in Washington, a delay. So do you have any idea how long it could take if those were relevant to get any type of results back on that?
Well, the toxicology reports, right, they usually take 4 to 6 weeks, sometimes longer. But they might, I don't think they're going to be relevant in the actual manner or cause of death.
And do we know how long between the time of death and when police found them, approximately?
No, I don't know for sure.
Do we have like any, like, would it have been
Any
hours?
idea?
Would it have been a day? Was it
You know, because you're the one that
any sort of
determines that.
Not that I'm aware of.
Let me hear that question again one more time.
Would it have been hours? Would it have been a day? Was it maybe close? Like, is there any sort of like time frame there?
No idea.
Not that I'm aware of.
There's no idea that she's aware of. Did she even do it? But still, you don't have an idea? You wouldn't have an idea, Yolie?
Oh, well,
The lady's asking a day or an hour.
Yeah.
Like, no.
Yeah, so
and she doesn't even say based on her opinion. She just says, "No, I haven't heard. I don't know that."
well,
What do you mean?
she hasn't done the autopsy yet, but she should. What I think she should have said, and I don't know. Instead of saying I don't have any idea, she should have said the autopsies are not complete, and we'll have more information once we complete the autopsies on the exact, the time of death, or something like that. But she just says, no, I don't have any idea. It's just she looks just like she's hiding something, like she's just
Like she don't even know.
Yeah, it's just crazy.
Wait, you're listening. Thank you, Caddy. I appreciate the link. Oh, I gotta come out. Shoot, how do I cut out some of it? I can't. Yeah, because even if I get rid of the other letters, it won't fit.
Yeah, it's really a sad, pathetic
Look at this
display.
Noon. Okay, which is when they showed up.
See, they pronounced the death at 12 noon.
Mm-hmm. Which is when they showed up.
Yeah. Look at her. She's an RN, BS, JD. She has a lot of credentials.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. She's experienced as shit.
It's longer.
But not on this one.
But they might. I don't think they're going to be relevant in the actual.
Yeah, they're not going to be relevant, right?
Like,
really?
You don't think they're going to be relevant? Why would she even say that? Talk about tunnel vision.
Uh-huh.
Well, the toxicology reports, right, they usually take 4 to 6 weeks, sometimes longer. But they might, I don't think they're going to be relevant in the actual manner or cause of death.
And
well, yeah.
How long between the time of death and when police found them? Approximately?
No, I don't know for sure.
Do we have any
an idea? Listen to this answer right here.
Close, is there any sort of time frame there?
Not that I'm aware of.
Not that she's aware of.
Yeah,
you don't have they're asking your opinion.
Yeah.
Not that I'm aware of.
Yeah.
Again, was she there?
Well, I don't know. I don't think so. It doesn't sound like
I don't think she was there, honestly, the more you listen to it.
Yeah, and she actually doesn't do the autopsy, but she helps the medical examiner do it. And because it's rural county, they probably contract medical examiners. So that's why
they sent him to Washington State.
Yeah.
To Spokane. Yeah. They sent him to Spokane to do the autopsies.
So why? I doubt she, probably because it's a small community, but
Spokane, it's a different state.
Yeah, it is.
You don't even send it to your own state capital. You send it to another state's larger city. I don't understand that.
Yeah, I don't understand it either.
The cost to transport, and I mean,
yeah, she called the families, didn't she?
She talked to Steve. That's where Steve got a lot of his information when it came to, the types of information that he was talking about, in all the interviews, what he's talking about when it comes to injuries, and they didn't have to do this and all this other stuff. He's going off of what this lady told him. Now imagine if she's changing her story every time she's talking to somebody. Imagine how many times she changed her story when she's talking to frickin' Steve, and and he's going to believe everything because he's a grieving father. He's going to fucking believe everything unless something just don't make no damn sense. But he's going to think that something's more plausible than we would because he's coming from a different spot. He's got to take even the smallest, littlest freaking crumb, even if it doesn't make sense. And that's, some of those are on our lap and we're like, no, because we don't, You know, we don't have that personal connection to it.
You know what? You
Which is
cut out. I'm
understandable.
sorry.
Oh. Yeah, that's what I thought too. Time of death. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And Katrina, that's what I'm saying. If you were there, you wouldn't have some kind of idea. You could look at the red stuff and have a damn good idea just looking at the red stuff because you know what I mean, the process. You could look at
Yeah.
the red stuff and have a good idea. Nobody's asking you down to the frickin' minute. They're saying hours a day, half a day, quarter of a day. You know, you could tell looking at red stuff that.
Yeah, you know, and there's different autopsies, like one for medical reasons and then another for criminal type things. So like a medical autopsy would be like a pathology report autopsy. And but for criminal ones it's a little bit different. And I know that the time of death is probably critical in a crime scene, unless it's obvious, but I mean, I suppose they can look at the blood and you know, if the blood is dried, gives you some kind of idea.
Yeah, you have an idea what you can tell between frickin' 0 minutes and 5 hours, 10 hours, 15 hours, 20 hours. You can tell. You
She
can tell.
wasn't there. She probably was. She wasn't there.
I don't think she was. That hell, like I thought she was, and then I start listening to this again, and I'm like, she's answering these questions like she's just being told something to say, and she don't know anything else. I'm rewinding the whole damn thing. It just
Kathy, with the C.
It just doesn't.
Mabbutt.
And I'm gonna ask you, how long have you been doing this for?
What's up,
I've
Natalie
been doing
B?
it for
Thank you for
16
hopping
years,
in.
and I
Appreciate
just
you.
got reelected for another 4.
So what is it that, or I guess,
Right,
you get the call
Susan. You know what I'm saying?
I got the call just a
Then
few minutes
changed to
after
4
noon
a.m. Right,
that there
Tiffany?
were 4 homicides, but I didn't go to
I
the
think the timeline was from 3 to 4:25 a.m. 3 to 4:25. Might even been a couple minutes earlier than 3 based off those damn phone calls. It just makes too much sense. I feel like downstairs was first. They fucking waited. The other girls came home, heard something, started calling Jack like freaking crazy, and then that took place. That's just my opinion, though.
Yeah, definitely. It seems like they were unalived at
3 to
different
4:25.
times.
3 to 4:25 is what. Yeah. I don't. Maybe a half an hour, but man, I don't know.
Well, I mean, just her body language, she looks like she's hiding something, or she could be really, really nervous, but
She just don't know.
yeah.
Maybe she, you know, because there's other people that weren't invited. EMS, right? Maybe she wasn't invited to the crime scene party either, because they want to try and have as less people frickin'
Walking around without booties.
saying this without booties, or saying this don't make sense, or being. I don't want to go too far. Never mind. We'll just keep watching.
The detectives got there at 4:30, I thought.
I don't want to go too far. Oh, no, I wasn't. Did I? No, I wasn't saying she was there at noon. I wasn't saying she was there at noon. LE. Oh, I appreciate you, Natalie B. Thank you. Just listen to her. It doesn't sound like she was even there.
Kathy, with a
Listen
C,
to her
Mabbutt,
answers.
Mabbutt.
I'm not
And I'm gonna
aware of
ask you,
that.
how long have you been doing this for?
We're going off the
I've been
press
doing it for
release.
16 years, and I just got reelected for another 4.
We're going off the press
So
release.
what is it that, or I guess, when did you get the call on Sunday?
I got the call just a few minutes after noon that there were 4 homicides, but I didn't go to the scene because of law enforcement doing their investigation first. So I didn't actually go to the scene until about 5 or 5:30.
Right there,
Can you
5
walk
or
us through,
5:30.
like, for our viewers, kind of the process between when police show up and then you guys getting the bodies and doing your examinations?
Sure. Well, law enforcement goes through and looks for any evidence, takes videos and pictures of everything in there, and they'll start talking with people.
Yeah.
So I don't
Yeah,
really
yeah.
need to be there for that. They
No.
can't move the bodies.
No.
I mean, the bodies have to stay as they were until the coroner gets there. So that's.
I don't know. I always thought the
She said-
coroner showed up pretty damn quick. No.
Well, yeah, no, I mean,
I haven't been covering true crime for as long as she's, been a coroner. She's been a coroner for 16 years. I ain't been covering true crime for 16 years, so I don't know. I don't know, but I just assumed that the coroner showed up pretty damn quick. No.
well, yeah, I mean, I think in big cities they do, but
Oh.
maybe in a small town they don't. But still, if she got there at 5:30,
Oh.
so in the meantime, there should be pictures of where the bodies were and what it looked like, according to her. Ellie takes pictures and everything, video.
I don't think she. Well, she's not going to be in shock anybody because she, because they ask about her experience. It might not be in this one, but in another one, they ask about her experience. Have you done? Is this the most? She. Oh no, I've had a couple others. Yeah, I'm pretty experienced. I'm like, whoa, well, I'm sorry, my bad. She don't look shook.
Looks like
No.
she's hiding something, like she's like
She's
she's uncomfortable.
being told what to say.
Almost like that. Yeah,
Being
like
told what to kept at a distance, being told what to release. Because she is the coroner, so she does have to talk like she is right now, right? She is the coroner, so it's like, yeah, well, you know what? Just let them know this because it's for the integrity of the investigation. Okay?
it sort of seems like that, yeah. That
Yeah,
she's
it's
just,
for the integrity.
God, such shady people.
The hashtag 2022 for the integrity, because that's when this shit started. For the integrity. Oh, okay. No, you just don't want people to fucking be woke up to the fucking bullshit. My bad. I'm sorry. I said more swear words than harsh today. Shit. I'm back on top, yo.
Kathy, with a C, Mabbutt, Mabbutt.
And I'm gonna ask you, how long have you been doing this for?
Listen to these responses.
I've been doing it for 16 years, and I just got reelected for another 4.
So what is it that, or I guess, when did you get the call on Sunday?
I got the call just a few minutes after noon that there were 4 homicides, but I didn't go to the scene because of law enforcement doing their investigation first. So I didn't actually go to the scene until about 5 or 5:30.
Can you walk us through, like, for our viewers, kind of the process between when police show up and then you guys getting the bodies and doing your examinations?
Sure. Well, law enforcement goes through and looks for any evidence, takes videos and pictures of everything in there, and they'll start talking with people. So I don't really need to be there for that. They can't move the bodies. I mean, the bodies have to stay as they were until the coroner gets there. So those are really that's what my job is.
Right.
So
Okay.
Get the bodies.
The coroner, do you guys do
That's it.
The autopsies and all that?
Yeah.
No, we some do if they're an actual medical examiner, but we have forensic pathologists and we contract with Spokane to do that.
Yeah,
So in
Spokane.
your experience, what
They
is
do
it that you
contract.
saw when you showed up?
Well, there was a lot of blood. It was, it was, it's a very sad scene with 4 murdered college students.
A lot of red stuff.
You're rolling all 4 deaths, homicides?
Yes.
And can you give us a manner of death? Yeah.
I believe that the press release was that they were from a sharp object. So
stab.
Yeah, I will know more after the autopsies tomorrow.
And do you believe this could be like a murder suicide?
No, there are 4 homicides.
She got that right.
When it comes to doing the investigation post-autopsy, that falls on you, correct?
Yes. It's my job to determine the manner and mechanism of death.
And then I know with toxicology results, there can often be some Washington a delay. So do you have any idea how long it could take if those were relevant to get any type of results back on that?
Well, the toxicology reports, right, they usually take 4 to 6 weeks, sometimes longer. But they might, I don't think they're going to be relevant in the actual manner or cause of death.
And do we know how long between the time of death and when police found them, approximately?
No, I don't know for sure.
Do we have like any, like, could it have been hours? Could it have been a day? Was it maybe close? Like, is there any sort of like time frame there?
Not that I'm aware of.
When you said the scene was really difficult, I mean, is this something you've had to deal with before in Moscow?
Since I've been coroner.
Right here. Here it is, everybody. This is the part I've been, I'm experienced.
Since I've been coroner, there have been at least 2 other multiple homicide scenes that I've been involved in. So.
Yep. 2 of them. I'm pretty, I'm pretty experienced. Look at my arms. Yeah, I'm pretty.
Look at my arms.
Yeah.
She has arms.
Oh, it's hard to just single it out. It's the only one I've been to where there have been 4 people at one scene. There have been the other ones have had multiple scenes.
Yeah, I'm experienced.
And was anybody else injured, like any non-deceased people?
Not that I'm aware of, but I wouldn't necessarily be notified either.
I didn't know if that was like.
Yeah, this is obvious.
Oh.
This is obvious. It's a need to know basis, right? That's what they call that. Need to know basis.
Yeah, she needs to just not talk about. She should have just said, I don't have any comment at the moment until I get more information.
She can't do that because then the propaganda machine would start to be exposed. You can't do that. She's got to act and talk like she's there, but just like H.Blum and Coffin Daffer, they have to use words to distance themselves, because then if they get fucking fact-checked on their shit, they got to be able to go like H.Blum, yo, I said, I thought. No. Oh yeah, I'm pretty experienced.
Oh, right.
Were the deceased all in close proximity to each other, or were they in different rooms?
I don't know that I can discuss that.
Isn't that crazy, Yolie?
Yeah.
You think that she would want to fucking be there? No, I waited until 5:30 until they were done doing everything, because there's nothing I could do anyway. No, you could sit there and frickin' nonchalant shit. 4 freaking kids were unalived this brutal freaking way, and I'm telling you, 50% effort, 50 fucking % effort all the way around, and we're just gonna yeah. Let me finish this real quick.
Will we be able to get a copy of your report once it's completed? I'm sure it'll be.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, just call.
Yes. Yep.
Yep, just call for the report. I wanted to share that with you guys. I was like, man, I got to play this again. I really do. It's horrible. All right. We'll get into this PCA now. Just crazy. Yeah, like she wasn't even there. You know what? I love doing polls. I'm going to put a poll up real quick. Do you think the coroner visited the crime scene? I want to see what you guys say at the end of the show here. I'm going to look at it when we get to the end. Give me 1 second. I got to do one of these once in a while here. Did coroner go to crime scene? Let me know. Put a vote in there. Did the coroner go to the crime scene? It's a good question. What do you think, Yolie? Do you think the coroner went to the crime scene?
Well, I don't think she went into the house, if that's what you're asking.
Yeah, that's
she
what I
may
mean.
have gone. Yeah, she may have
Yeah,
gone.
so with the poll, I'm asking, do you think she went inside the house, not showed up to the property and was told something? Did she go into the house? Okay, go ahead.
Well, Tiffany Crockett is saying she had to go so the bodies can be removed. It's the law. You know, I'm not sure what the law is in Idaho.
That is true. That is a law, but we do not know in Idaho.
Yeah, I don't know in Idaho what the
Especially
law
with
is.
this shoddy ass shit where you can defend the same you can defend the person that unalived the person you did an autopsy on. So who knows? You know what I'm saying? Who knows?
Yeah, it's clear that things didn't go like the way we would normally think they would go. That's why everybody's talking about it. I mean, when we go over this PCA, you'll see how, and every time I look at this stuff, I find something else. And it's because I forget, I forget like what I knew back then, like when it was first happening. But no, it seems like, I'm learning something new every time I go over this stuff.
Every time you watch, and I mean, hell, just now,
Yeah, I know.
like just now, that thing's old as shit, and
I know.
just
I
now.
forgot she said she got there at 5:30. So wait a second. So Ellie was there from 12. Okay, so Ellie was there from 12.
They were called at 11:56. EMS showed up, and then Ellie came.
Okay, then the detectives didn't get there until 4, I thought. The actual detectives.
The actual detectives.
That's what I thought. Ellie was there securing the scene and walking in without buoys and doing all that.
Yeah, Fry did his press conference like it was like 1:30, 2 o'clock, something like that. It wasn't much longer. It wasn't much longer after the crime scene because that's when he came out and said he made his first initial statement, came out and said that the public didn't have anything to worry about. It was an isolated situation and it was an unalive self unalive.
But weren't some detectives on a fishing trip?
On a fishing trip?
Yeah, they weren't in the area. That's what I remember. I may be wrong, but that's what I remember.
What's up, Kelly? I had the haunted house in the purple sky. Payne, who got there at 4. When did Fry do that press conference? Because it was Fry that did the press conference, telling the public they didn't have nothing to worry about. It was an isolated situation. It was an unalive self unalive. What was that, the next day?
Yeah, that I don't remember, but I do remember that this person here, statement of Brett Payne, he'll tell you when he got there in the statement.
Damn, I'm just going off from a long ass time ago. No.
I know. Wait, well, yeah,
What's up, Tammy?
yeah. I think he says it when he got there in the
Because Fry was telling the
PCA.
community, "Oh, you got nothing to worry about." I'm like, "What? Unalive, self-unalive? That's a bunch of bullshit." Telling the people they ain't got nothing to worry about. My ass. Who in that? That's because I was like, "Who in the hell does this?" As a unalive, who in the hell does this? Nobody. Nobody.
It's crazy.
Nobody. All right. This PCA, here's the link to it. If you don't have it, I'm sure you do. Everybody does. But if you don't, here's the link for it. The below information is provided by Brett Payne, who is duly appointed, qualified, and acting peace officer with the County of Latah, State of Idaho. Brett Payne is employed by Moscow Police Department in the official capacity or position of corporal and has been a trained and qualified peace officer for approximately 4 years. Corporal Payne is being assisted by members of the Idaho State Police and agents of the Federal Bureau of Investigation. On November 13th at approximately 4 p.m.
Told you.
Moscow Police Department Sergeant Blaker and I responded to 1122 King Road, Moscow, Idaho, hereafter the King Road residence, quote, to assist with scene security and processing of a crime scene associated with 4 unalivings. Upon our arrival, the Idaho State Police forensic team was on scene and was preparing to begin processing the scene. MPD Officer Smith, one of the initial responding officers to the incident, advised he would walk me through the scene. So Smith and I entered the King Road residence because Smith's going to take him around and let him see.
He's going to do the tour.
Floor. Yeah, through the bottom floor on the north side of the building. Smith and I then walked upstairs to the second floor. Smith directed me down the hallway to the west bedroom on the second floor, which I later learned through Zana's driver's license and other personal belongings found in the room was Zana Kernodle, hereafter Kernodle room. Just before this room was a bathroom door on the south wall of the hallway. As I approached the room, I could see a body, later identified as Kernodle's, laying on the floor. Kernodle was unalived with wounds which appeared to be caused by an edged weapon.
This is so big. Just before this room, there was a bathroom door on the south wall of the hallway. As I approached the room, as I approached the room, I could see a body. Okay, so as he's approaching the room, he sees the body.
Mm-hmm.
I can't see the other part.
Yeah, so basically they're coming in from the bottom floor. They walk in, they go up the stairs. As he's coming up into the living room of the second floor, he's looking up. He can see the good vibe light sign. To the right is because he's coming up from them stairs, right? So straight ahead, as he turns around from the stairs, straight ahead is the good vibe light sign. The hallway / whatever you want to call it to DM's room, and the stairs upstairs to the right is where Zana's room is. Right before you get to Zana's room, there's a bathroom door on the left side of that hallway going to Zana's room. So what he's saying is as he's coming up the stairs, going down the hallway, he's in the living room. As he's approaching the room, he can see Zana laying on the floor.
In the room, okay.
Mm-hmm. On the floor. Also in the room was a male later identified as Ethan Chapin. Hereafter, Chapin was also unalived with wounds later determined, quote, autopsy report provided by Spokane County Medical Examiner, blank, dated December 15th, 2022, to be caused by sharp force injuries. Let's see here. I'm gonna get to some comments real quick.
Yeah, they don't. They don't give you the name of the medical examiner who did it.
Redacted. I don't know. Why would it be? Why would the medical examiner be redacted?
Well, that's what I'm questioning is, you know, who was it?
I don't know. Why would it need to be redacted, right?
I don't know. That's the weird part is why would it need to be redacted? Is it because there's a gag order? But there wasn't a gag order when the
But why
probable
would there
cause
be
affidavit.
why would there be a I mean, there's a gag order, but why would the medical examiner's name not?
Oh, maybe the ME. Somebody is saying that the medical examiner is named in the Pennsylvania version.
Pennsylvania version? Okay,
Yeah.
why not in this one?
I don't know.
Why not in this one? I then followed OFC Smith upstairs to the third floor of the residence. The third floor consisted of 2 bedrooms and 1 bathroom. The bedroom on the west side of the floor was later determined to be Kaylee Goncalves, hereafter Goncalves' room. I later learned from review of Nunez's body camera there was a dog in the room when MPD initially responded. The dog belonged to Goncalves'
He later learned. Okay, so he later learned from a review of Officer Nunez's body camera. So there's body camera. There's body camera. Right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I found out from my interview with Blank on November 13th, 2022, that he and Goncalves shared the dog. Smith then pointed out a small bathroom on the east side of the floor. This bathroom shared a wall with Madison Mogan bedroom, which was situated on the southeast corner of the third floor. As I entered this bedroom, I could see 2 females in the single bed in the room. Both Goncalves and Mogan were unalived with visible stab wounds. I also later noticed what appeared to be a tan leather knife sheath laying on the bed next to Mogan's right side when viewed from the door.
He said, I also later noticed. I don't know what that
Mhm.
means. He also later noticed when.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, why later?
Why doesn't he say, I noticed?
Yeah, I also
Yeah.
noticed. Wordplay. The sheath was later processed. Noticed it laying on the bed next to, not under. Not under.
Next to Mogan's right side.
Next to, right. The sheath was later processed and had K-Bar USMC and the United States Marine Corps Eagle Globe and Anchor insignia stamped on the outside of it. The Idaho State Lab later located a single source of male DNA suspect profile left on the bottom snap of the knife sheath. As part of the investigation, numerous interviews were conducted by Moscow Police Department officers, Idaho State Police detectives, and FBI agents. 2 of the interviews included BF and DM. Both BF and DM were inside the King Road residence at the time of the unalivings and were roommates to the victims. BF's bedroom was located on the east side of the first floor of the King Road residence.
So those are not BF and DM's words. He's just saying, he's stating it as a fact that 2 of the interviews included BF and DM. Both of them were he's basically saying they were in the house, but.
That's a good point, HS. Toxicology, like she said, I don't think it's going to matter. Like what they're saying, toxicology tests could determine the time of digestion. 100%. You're exactly right. But it doesn't matter. Right? It's not going to make a difference. Not according to her.
Yeah.
Yeah, cryptic words, Kelly Miller. Exactly. Just like H.Blum. Using supercalifragilisticexpialidocious when all you had to do was say excited, Like, what are you doing? Come on. All right. Based on numerous interviews conducted by MPD officers, ISP detectives, and FBI agents, as well as my review of evidence, I have learned the following. On the evening of November 12th, 2022, Chapin and Kernodle are seen by BF at the Sigma Chi House on the University of Idaho campus at 735 Nez Perce Drive, approximately 9 p.m. on November 12th. to 1:45 a.m. on November 13th. BF also estimated that approximately 1:45 a.m. Chapin and Kernodle returned to the King Road residence. BF also stated that Chapin did not live in the King Road residence, but was a guest of Kernodle. What's up, Casey? How you doing tonight? Oh, of course, Sluthin. I mean, she had to represent the defendant of a case that she did freaking autopsy for. Of course. Of course. Of course. Goncalves and Mogan were at a local bar, the Corner Club at 202 North Main Street in Moscow. Goncalves and Mogan can be seen on video footage provided by the Corner Club between 10 p.m. on November 12th and 1:30 a.m. on November 13th. At approximately 1:30 a.m., Goncalves and Mogan can be seen on video at a local food vendor called the Grub Truck at 318 South Main Street in downtown Moscow. What's up, Jessica? The Grub Truck live streams video from their food truck on the streaming platform Twitch, which is also available for public viewing on their website.
Oh,
Mhm.
public viewing.
Yes. Oh, yeah, the group. They public view that
No,
shit, too.
that's dangerous. Why?
And yeah. It's like a lotto. You go up there, you say you're broke, you might get your dinner paid for you from them creep ass motherfuckers on the Twitch. The video was captured by law enforcement. A private party blanked out reported that he provided a ride to Goncalves and Mogan at approximately 1:56 a.m. from downtown Moscow in front of the Grub Truck to the King Road residence. DM and BF both made statements during interviews that indicated the occupants of the King Road residence were at home by 2 a.m. and asleep, or at least in their rooms, by approximately 4 a.m. This is with the exception of Kernodle, who received a DoorDash order at the residence at approximately 4 a.m. Law enforcement identified the DoorDash delivery driver who reported this information. DoorDash. DM stated she originally went to sleep in her bedroom on the southeast side of the second floor. DM stated she was awoken at approximately 4 a.m. by what she stated sounded like Goncalves playing with her dog in one of the upstairs bedrooms, which were located on the third floor. A short time later, DM said she heard who she thought was Goncalves say something to the effect of, "There's someone here." A review of records obtained from a forensic download of Kernodle's phone showed this could also have been Kernodle, as her cellular phone indicated she was likely awakened using the TikTok app at approximately 4:12. Likely. It says likely.
Yep. How likely?
It's likely.
How likely?
You know, well, it's likely that I can win this Powerball. That's $1.5 billion. It's likely.
How
Put that
likely?
in a PCA. I don't know. Hopefully, very likely, because it'd be nice. Just to be honest.
This Mr. Payne is going to get cross-examined.
Buy me a Dodge Viper. Yeah. DM stated that she looked out of her bedroom window but did not see anything when she heard the comment about someone being in the house. DM stated she opened her door a second time when she heard what she thought was crying coming from Kernodle's room. DM then said she heard a male voice say something to the effect of, "It's okay, I'm going to help you." At approximately 4:17 a.m., a security camera located on 1112 King Road, a residence immediately to the northwest of 1122 King Road, picked up a distorted audio of what sounded like voices or a whimper followed by a loud thud. So they're claiming that the audio is true. A dog can also be heard barking numerous times starting at 4:17 a.m. The security camera is less than 50 feet from the west wall of Kernodle's bedroom.
But they also say it's a distorted audio of what sounded like.
Of what sounded like. Right. And there was that distorted audio that was going around, but that
Yeah, so
nobody
it's-
wanted to say was real. Maybe it.
We don't know.
I mean, it's just like any audio. If you're looking for it, you can hear it. I mean, we went through that shit with the Linda Lane shit, you know? That's
Oh God.
the two things that can be the easiestly doctored is a timestamp, because you can crop a fucking video and put another timestamp on there. It's quick as shit. And the audio. And especially with video and audio, if you're looking for something like when we did a couple nights ago about the dude throwing the food container in the garbage.
Yeah.
We don't
Yeah.
frickin' know. But when we're looking for the food container to be gone from his hand when he's walking away, holy shit, it doesn't look like he threw it away. But then as I'm watching it today, I'm looking at it again, and I almost can see the white container in the front of his hand a couple steps after the garbage can. So
Right.
I could see that too today when I'm
Yeah.
watching it in the background doing prep and shit. I'm like, okay, maybe not. I'm not going to talk about it tonight then. Fuck it. There's too much that you know to try and it'd be a
Yeah.
waste.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
let me see. DM stated that she opened the door for the third time after she heard the crying and saw a figure clad in black. Because we watched Game of Thrones right before this. Clothing and a mask that covered the person's mouth and nose walking towards her. DM described the figure as 5'10" or taller, male, not very muscular, but athletically built. What the hell does that mean?
I don't know. Not very muscular, but athletically
But
built.
athletically built. That's... Some say tomato, some say tomato. Built with bushy eyebrows, the male
Built athletically built with bushy eyebrows. Oh,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was looking at built with bushy eyebrows.
Oh, built, yeah. Well,
There should be a comma there. It says it's a
The bushy-
male. Yeah,
the bushy
male,
eyebrows
not
is
very
what's gonna-
muscular. But
They're going to be able to ask people on the witness stand, do you see the bushy eyebrows that you saw that night? And they're going to go, eyes, that's the bushy. Who is the guy in the blue tie? I mean, that's what they're going to do.
This is silly.
Yeah, that was my British voice. I'm in a good fucking mood tonight. I can't help it. I'm doing all sorts of shit with the voice tonight. The male walked towards the back sliding glass door. Oh, I'm
Wait,
sorry.
you-
The male walked past DM as she stood in a frozen shock phase.
And he put that in quotes.
Right.
So Dylan said frozen shock phase.
That's what took 8 hours. The male walked towards the back sliding glass door. DM locked herself in her room after seeing the male. DM did not state that she recognized the male. Of course not. This leads investigators to believe that the unaliver left the scene. I would say so because they weren't there when you got there, so I'm
This
sure they
leads
left
to
the
the
fucking scene. No, that's the truest shit ever written on this PCA right here, is that the murderer left the scene. Son bitch. Homework done. Homework is done.
Oh God, this is so poorly written.
It is. The combination.
I mean, I
of-
think it is.
It is. It's when I got done reading this the first day it came out, I was like, there's so many holes in this. There's so many holes in this. There's so many room for opinions and room for, well, it could be this, it could be this.
Well,
it
what
could be
I
this.
meant
It was
was
meant.
what I meant was that there's a lot of room for what I meant was this, not that.
Yeah, so then if your story changes over time, you could apply it to, you could still apply it. It all
Yeah.
makes sense. It's the choose your own fucking story destiny, but it's all in one fucking report. It really should say, if you believe this, then go to paragraph this on page this, right?
Yeah.
Fucking ridiculous. The combination of DM's statements to law enforcement, reviews of forensic downloads of records from BF and DM's phone, and video of a suspect video as described below.
Video of a suspect video. A video of a suspect video. So are they saying they have a video of a suspect video?
Yeah. Yeah, because he took a short video of himself before, and they had that really cool Samsung link share shit. So he must have like left that open after he took a short video. And because they had Samsungs, they were able to link up real quick. So they were able to get the video of the video, right?
A video
Because
of a suspect video.
yeah,
It's not even.
but check this out. One of them must have got the video from the Samsung link, and then that person showed the other one the video, and the one that was shown the video from the other one was actually taking the video of it, and that's how they got the video of the suspect video. Holy shit. I just figured it out.
But the video that they got was suspect.
Oh, bitch. I just figured it out. I can't believe it. Case closed. Done. Case closed. During the processing of the crime scene, investigators found a latent shoe print that was located. Oh man, I'm kind of being loud. That was located during the second processing of the crime scene by the ISP.
The second processing of the crime scene by the Idaho State Police. So there was a first processing?
Yeah. Yeah, but they located it during the second one. Yeah. Because see, the first time they processed the scene, Yolie, they weren't using the presumptive red stuff test and then the amino black. They weren't using that. They were looking. They were looking, and they didn't see it. It's not until they used that funky black light until they were able to, actually see the latent footprint, right? Yeah. Wow. The footprint is just as strong as the button snap. It's faded. You know what? It's faded. Why is it faded? Why is that footprint barely even there? If you did that to 4 people and you just heard the coroner a little bit ago, the coroner said, "Oh yeah, it's yeah."
And they say
there's a lot.
Similar to the pattern of a Vans type shoe sole. Okay, was it a Vans type shoe sole or was it not? They say similar. They don't say it was a Vans type shoe sole. If they did have the print, they could definitely look up the sole.
We're not talking about Air Jordans where there's fucking a gazillion different models. We're talking about Vans. There's not. Come on.
Diamond shaped pattern similar
There's
to the pattern.
Yeah. Hell, it could have been a knockoff. You know what I'm saying? It could have been a knockoff from Walmart. It could have been like Winner's Choice or some shit that had triangles that looked like a fucking Vans shoe. It leaves it open for any kind of interpretation.
Yeah.
Like I said, choose your own destiny. PCA. That's what I'm going to be calling it. The Choose Your Own Destiny PCA.
Yeah, they don't even say the size of the latent shoe print.
During the processing of the crime scene, they found the shoe print later located during the second processing of the crime scene by the ISP forensic team by first using presumptive blood tests and then amino black, a protein stain that detects the presence of cellular material. The detected shoe print showed a diamond-shaped pattern similar to the pattern of a Vans type shoe sole just outside the door of DM's bedroom located on the second floor. This is consistent with DM's statement regarding the suspect's path of travel. No.
That footprint could have been there before the crime ever happened.
If you're going off the footprint, they were walking into the fucking wall. Okay? If you're going off the footprint, they're walking into the fucking wall. They're not going to the damn kitchen and they're not going upstairs. They're walking to the fucking wall. As part of the investigation, an extensive search commonly referred to in law enforcement as video canvas was conducted in the area of the King Road residence. This video canvas was to obtain any footage from the early morning hours of November 13, 2022, in the area of the King Road residence and surrounding neighborhoods in an effort to locate the suspects or suspect vehicles. Why plural? Why
Yeah, so
plural?
they're basically saying that there
For
could
one
be other
person.
suspects. Yeah, there could be. They're saying that there could be other suspects
Of
or other
course.
suspect vehicles. So
They still have the tip line open.
yeah.
Of course. But why is it so focused on one person? Yeah, and it was that messy, and they found one that they didn't even notice until they used the funky black light. For real? That should be the darkest frickin' footprint of the house, no?
Yeah.
I'm just listen,
If
I
there's
didn't go to
blood.
I didn't go to college for this. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I don't know what I'm talking about. The video canvas resulted in the collection of numerous surveillance videos in the area from both residential and businesses addresses. I have reviewed numerous videos that were collected and have had conversations with the other MPD officers, ISP detectives, and FBI agents that are similarly reviewing footage that was obtained.
So he
Clad
had he's had conversations with other MPD officers. Okay, I don't know why. What does the conversations reveal? I mean, why does he put that in there?
what the conversations reveal are what they got to put in the PCA. All right, guys, this is what's going to make it stick. This covers everything. That way, if one thing fails, we still have 5 other things to go to. And you know what? It's so wide open, we could just apply it to it. Mad Libs. I love that game, too.
I
It
love
was
that
fun.
game.
I know. I think that's what made me so creative when I was a kid, because I'd have to, I'd really be thinking about some crazy
Adjectives and pronouns.
Yeah, I'd always have to come up with words and shit. A review, shout out teachers. A review of camera footage indicated that a white sedan, hereafter suspect vehicle 1, not 0, not -0, 1.
Not the suspect's vehicle.
Well, suspect vehicle 1 is Mr. Koberger's. According to this document, there was 2 other vehicles they were looking for. So we did have a -1 and a 0, which is the first time. Call Guinness. First time ever in a PCA, you got a -1 and a 0 before you get to the 1, when usually it's the 1 and then the 2 and then the 3. I don't know how that kind of shit works, but hey, like I said, I didn't go to school for this. A review of camera footage indicated that a white sedan, hereafter suspect vehicle 1, was observed traveling westbound in the 700 block of Indian Hills Drive in Moscow at approximately 3:26 a.m. and westbound on Steiner Avenue on Idaho State Highway 95 in Moscow at approximately 3:28 a.m. On this video, it appears suspect vehicle 1 was not displaying a front license plate.
Okay, so at 3:28, he's going west.
Mm-hmm.
Is that away from the Moscow home?
On Steiner, if you're going west, it depends. Let me see. King Road. Then a few initial passes. Whoops. I think it is going by the A&W. A review of footage from multiple videos obtained from the King Road showed multiple sightings of the vehicle 1 starting at 3:29 a.m. and ending at 4:20 a.m. These sightings show suspect vehicle 1 makes an initial 3 passes by the 1122 King Road residence and then leave via Walenta Drive. Based off my experience as a patrol officer, this is a residential neighborhood with very limited number of vehicles that travel in the area during the early morning hours. Upon review of the video, there are only a few cars that enter and exit this
Bullshit.
area during the time frame. Why don't you go after the videos of when the dude was all chaotically driving downtown Pullman in Moscow for no fucking reason before and after the crime? Because those are the most well-lit streets in the frickin' cities, both of them, and they have the best the best kind of camera footage, you know?
This is a college town. This is not just a quiet residential area with a very limited number of vehicles that travel in the area. It's a college town. You got people coming to parties. I mean, I don't understand that.
They got cameras everywhere. That's why I want to go into this body cam stuff. I need to get into that body cam deep dive. There's just been other shit.
Oh, you know, that's true. There was an accident. Tracy Jane is saying that he had to detour. Yeah.
Yeah, there was an accident. There's a hit and run. Or no, they hit a fire hydrant. Suspect vehicle 1 can be seen entering the area of fourth time approximately 4:04 a.m. It can be seen driving eastbound on King Road, stopping and turning around in front of 500 Queen Road number 52, and then driving back westbound. Okay. Yeah. Stopping and turning around at 500 Queen Road, which is the apartment building. Like I was saying yesterday. And then the 3-point turn, intersection of Queen Road and King Road, where it can be seen completing it. Then driving eastbound again down Queen Road. Unsuccessfully parks. Suspect vehicle 1 is next seen departing the area of King Road residence at approximately 4:20 a.m. At a high rate of speed. Suspect vehicle 1 is next observed traveling southbound on Walenta Drive. Based on my knowledge of the area and review of camera footage in the neighborhood that does not show suspect vehicle 1 during that time frame, I believe that suspect vehicle 1 likely exited the neighborhood.
How likely?
Yeah. Likely $1.5 billion lotto ticket. So I hope I win. 'Cause that'd be sweet. All that shit's got to be blurry. Come on now. All that shit's got to be blurry. Not the cameras that are on well-lit streets all up and down both fucking towns. Those got to be clear as shit. I mean, come on. If the cameras can take a picture of your damn license plate going 75 miles an hour to send you a toll ticket, I think they can take it going 35 down a freaking residential city street.
This is just
pretty
dumb.
damn clear. Pretty damn clear.
Does suspect vehicle 1 have a license plate?
Not on the front.
Did it have a license plate on the back? They don't answer that.
Because
they don't have a license plate number.
No. And, if somebody's driving their car to go commit a crime, they might take their plates off before they go do it, I mean, fuck, there's people that don't drive with plates that ain't going to commit a quadruple homicide.
Yeah, and I always think to myself that maybe somebody could snap and be irrational and just go drive over there in their car and do all these unalivings. But how likely is that? I don't know.
Mm-hmm. So it says it's leaving Palouse River Drive on Conestoga Drive. Palouse River Drive is at the southern edge of Moscow and proceeds into Whitman County, Washington, which it kind of goes south and around. Eventually, the road leads to Pullman, Washington. Pullman, Washington, it's like a 50-some minute drive. Pullman, Washington is approximately 10 miles from Moscow, Idaho. Both Pullman and Moscow are small college towns, and people commonly travel back and forth between them. Law enforcement officers provided video footage of suspect vehicle 1 to forensic examiners with the Federal Bureau of Investigation that regularly utilize surveillance footage to identify the year, make, and model of an unknown vehicle that is observed by one or more cameras during the commission of a criminal offense.
Okay, there's so many assumptions there.
That's all it is. That's why there's nothing but holes in it. I don't know. I don't understand how they were able to do what they did off this document, honestly. A Christmas stocking full of, The forensic examiner has approximately 35 years law enforcement experience with 12 years at the FBI His specific training includes identifying unique characteristics of vehicles, because that's what they used, right? Unique characteristics of vehicles. And he uses a database that gives visual clues of vehicles across states to identify difference between vehicles. Really? But you gave us a stock photo. You get, not us.
Well,
You
couldn't
gave the
these-
community a stock photo. The people that you needed to help keep safe, you gave them a stock photo, but you have digital evidence where
Oh.
you have somebody that's specifically trained to identify that so he could help use that to identify differences between vehicles across state lines even.
That's so stupid.
Whoa! That's heavy
The car
shit.
doesn't change across state lines.
It does if you drive a DeLorean, Yolie. That shit changes when you cross frickin' time gaps. You get, you got that frost on there. It steams a little bit. It does change. And when it crosses state lines, it might have some kind of effect. It's that Koberger DeLorean. It might have that effect. It
Uses a database that gives visual clues of vehicles across states.
What's up, Jen? If you have it, send it to me at one of the links down there at the bottom of the screen. We might have watched it before, but my Idaho4 video folder is so full of like 2,000 videos. So trying to dig through that. If you have it, just send it to me. Investigators were given access to video footage on the Washington
Oh wait,
State
you skipped the other one.
What?
Did you skip the above paragraph?
Oh, the Elantra. After reviewing the numerous observations of suspect vehicle 1, the forensic examiner initially believed that suspect vehicle 1 was a 2011 to 2013.
But
upon further review, basically upon the PCA, he indicated it could also
be
a 2011 to 2016.
It could be either.
Yeah. As a result, investigators have been reviewing information on persons in possession of a vehicle that is a 2011 to 2016 white Hyundai Elantra. Investigators were given access to video footage on the WSU campus located in Pullman, Washington. A review of that video indicated that approximately at 2:44 a.m. on November 13th, 2022, a white sedan, which was consistent with the description of the white Elantra known as suspect vehicle 1, was observed on WSU surveillance cameras traveling north on Southeast Nevada Street at Northeast Stadium Way. You saw the cameras there at approximately 2:50 to tell me, listen, consistent with the description from a video that was reviewed. The video that was reviewed, you're going to tell me you cannot get a freaking plate there? Give me a damn break. And you're going to say that it's traveling north? This is what doesn't make sense, you guys. This is what doesn't make sense. If he's traveling that way on Stadium Way, which is left and right, Nevada Street's up and down. Stadium Way is left and right. So if he's traveling southeast and then traveling north, he's not even going the same direction as it takes to get to the next spot that he's supposedly seen at, which is at the gas station. He's going
I'm
north,
so confused.
not west.
This is so confusing.
He's going north, not west. Watch, listen. He's going north, right? Then, at approximately 2:53, a white sedan, which is consistent with the description, was observed traveling southeast on Nevada Street in Pullman towards SR 270, which is
Towards
the road
Pullman.
that connects Pullman, Washington, and Moscow.
So he's going towards
You're not
the connection to Pullman.
Yeah. You're going to go all through the freaking city, right? Mr. Forensic, I know
But
it
look
all.
at
I'm
the
here to
times.
be an intern. I'm here to help you. And I'm not going to take the route that goes up on top that avoids all these cameras, whether you're in Pullman or Moscow.
So from 244 to 253.
Yeah, because supposedly he shuts his phone off at 244. 242, I'm sorry. 242. 2 minutes before, 2 minutes after he leaves the house, 2 minutes before he gets to the surveillance. This camera footage from Pullman, Washington, was provided to the FBI forensic examiner. The forensic examiner identified the vehicle observed in Pullman, Washington as being a 2014 to 2016 Hyundai Elantra. What's up, Novia? At approximately 5:25 a.m., a white sedan, which is, I'm tired of saying this, you know what vehicle we're talking about, Sus V1, was observed on 5 cameras, 5 in Pullman, Washington, and on WS campus cameras. But ain't a damn fucking plate that you couldn't put out to the community or give them a heads up. You just gave them a stock photo. But you got all this shit, right? Okay. You make a lot of sense. Let's not tell our community, especially these young ladies, let's not tell them what the fuck they need to know to be safe. Let's just keep everybody guessing, right? But we got a whole bunch of evidence and bull fucking shit. This first camera that, if they did, what a disrespectful, very disrespectful to the females out there. For real. Very disrespectful. The first camera that recorded the white sedan was located at 1300 Johnson Road in Pullman. The white sedan was observed traveling northbound on Johnson Road. Johnson Road leads directly back to West Pelu River Drive in Moscow, which intersects with Kantoga Drive. The white sedan was then observed turning north on Bishop Boulevard and northwest on SR 270. Approximately 5:27 a.m., the white Elantra was observed on cameras traveling northbound on Stadium Way at Nevada Street, Stadium Way at Grimes Way, Stadium Drive at Wilson Road, and Stadium Way at Cougar Way. I'm sure you could if you had 19 to 22,000 white fucking cars driving around.
Yeah,
Again,
this whole thing
didn't
loses.
go to school for it.
It just loses. You know, a PCA should say something like, there was a video camera that caught the suspect going into the house, parked his white car outside, went into the house, came out, took off his clothes. I mean, this is so specific for a death penalty case. I just don't understand all this running around and driving around. I mean, okay, so there were all these white cars all over the place. Okay, tell me who committed the murder.
How in the fuck?
The unaliving, I'm sorry.
How in the hell are you goofy when you're driving driving around the freaking car, and then when you get in there, you're like fucking Batman.
Oh, wait, look. They say...
Like, what?
The only
and
time
then you get back in the car. Like, come on.
Continue reading. The only time they get a plate is when the WSU looks it up when it's parked.
Right. when it's in a stationary position during the daytime, they can get the photo of the plate. Yep, they got it. Stationary and in the daytime, they got it. On November 25th, 2022, MPD asked area law enforcement agencies to be on the lookout for a white Hyundai Elantra in the area. On November 29th, 2022, at approximately 12:28, Washington State University P.O. Daniel Tiango queried white Elantras registered at WSU. As a result of that query, he located the 2015 white Elantra with a Pennsylvania license plate blanked out. This vehicle was registered to Brian Koberger, hereafter Koberger, residing at 1630 Northeast Valley Road, apartment 201, Pullman, Washington. 1630 Northeast Valley Road is approximately 3/4 of a mile from the intersection of Stadium Way and Cougar Way. Last camera location that picked up the white Elantra. That same day at approximately 12:58 a.m., WSU officer Curtis Whitman was looking for the white Hyundai Elantras and located a 2015 white Hyundai Elantra at 1630 Northeast Valley Road in Pullman in the parking lot.
In the parking lot of his
In the park stationary. They couldn't miss it. There was no plausible deniability with that one. 1630 Northeast Valley Road is an apartment complex that houses WSU students. Officer Whitman also ran the car and it returned to Koberger with a Washington tag. I reviewed Koberger's WA state driver's license information and photograph. The license indicates that Koberger is a white male with a height of 6 feet and weighs 185. Additionally, the photograph of Koberger shows that he has bushy eyebrows. We got to make sure to point that out because only one person has bushy eyebrows. That guy in the blue tie has the bushy eyebrows. I seen it that night. My ass.
Okay.
Koberger,
It's his additionally shows he has bushy eyebrows. Koberger's physical description is consistent.
Mm-hmm.
Wait. The only thing consistent are bushy eyebrows.
Yeah, they can't say he's dressed clad in a suit.
And they can't say whether he's 6 feet, 185 pounds of
What are they
muscle.
What are they gonna do? Like OJ putting on the glove, or are they gonna put the suit on BK? Wear the mechanic suit, BK.
Oh my god!
Like, is that the OJ glove? The mechanic suit for BK? Put the suit on. Let's see it. Clad
The
in
Michael
black.
Myers.
Does he look clad in black? Is that the bushy eyebrows you saw that night? Is he in the courtroom? Right? Come on.
The Michael Myers suit.
Yeah, that's the new OJ glove, the fucking Dickies mechanic suit. And then Koberger, he'll be playing it off like OJ because OJ was like, he kept fucking fooling. BK's gonna be like, I can't fit my fucking arm through the sleeve, everybody. Like, yeah, that's gonna be the OJ glove. Koberger can't fit his arm through the sleeve. It's not him. Right?
Oh my god. Somebody's had too much coffee, maybe.
I'm just in a good fucking mood, and this is some bullshit. I'm sorry. I'm just
Oh god,
it's
this
some
is funny.
Just having a good time. Further, my
This is
arm
just
don't
silly.
fit the sleeve. Further investigation, including a review of Latah County Sheriff's Deputy Corporal Duke's body cam again, and reports showed that on August 21st. Come on, though. OJ glove, BK sleeve. Come on, start the trend. At the time, Koberger, who was the sole occupant, was driving a white 2015 Hyundai Elantra with Pennsylvania plate, which was set to expire on November 30th, 2022. During the stop, which was recorded via a law enforcement body camera, Koberger provided his phone number as blank, 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 8458, hereafter the 8458, and as his cellular telephone number. Investigators conducted electronic database queries and learned that the 8458 phone number is issued by TNT. On October 14th, 2022, Brian Koberger was detained as part of a traffic stop by a WSU police officer. Upon review of the body cam and report of the stop, Koberger was the sole occupant, was driving a white 2015 Hyundai Elantra with Pennsylvania plate. On November 18th, 2022, according to WA state licensing, Koberger registered the 2015 white Elantra with WA and later received WA plate. Prior to this time, the 2015 white Elantra was registered in Pennsylvania, which does not require a front license plate to be displayed. This was learned through communications with the Pennsylvania officer who is currently certified in the state of Pennsylvania. All you had to do was look it up on Google. Based on my own experience and communication with Washington law enforcement, I know that Idaho and Washington require front and back license plates to be displayed. Investigators believe that Koberger is still driving the 2015 white Elantra because his vehicle was captured on December 13th, 2022 by a license plate reader in Loma, Colorado. Information provided by a query to a database. Koberger's Elantra was then queried on December 15th, 2022 by law enforcement in Hancock County, Indiana. On December 16th, 2022 at approximately 2:26 p.m., surveillance showed Koberger's Elantra in Albrightsville, PA. The sole occupant of the vehicle was a white male whose description was consistent with Koberger. Koberger has family in Albrightsville, Pennsylvania, learned through the TLO search and locate tool database Curie. Based on information provided on the WSU website, Koberger is currently a PhD student in criminology at WSU, pursuant to records provided by a member of the interview panel for Pullman Police Department. We learned that Koberger's past education included undergraduate degrees in psychology and cloud-based forensics. I mean, come on. Hello? I'm going to forget to shut my phone off when I leave the house. The records also showed Koberger's wrote an essay when he applied for an internship with the Pullman Police Department in the fall of 2022. Koberger wrote in his essay he had interest in assisting rural law enforcement agencies with how to better collect and analyze technological data in public safety operations. I'm going to forget my phone. I'm going to forget to shut it off. Koberger also posted a Reddit survey, which can be found on an open source internet search. The survey asked for participants to provide information to understand how emotions and psychological traits influence decision making when committed a crime. Did they put also in there that the FBI, it's a questionnaire that's from it's part of a course? It's questions from a course. As part of the investigation, law enforcement had obtained search warrants to determine cellular devices that utilize cellular towers in close proximity to the King Road residence. On November 13th, 2022, between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m., after determining that Koberger was, and that's when I think the crimes took place, and after determining that Koberger was associated to both the 2015 White Elantra and the 8458 phone number, investigators reviewed the search warrant returns. A query of the 8458 phone and these returns did not show the 8458 utilizing cellular tower resources in close proximity to the King Road residence between 3 and 5 a.m. Because we all know Moscow has a lot of fucking cellular towers over there, don't they? It had to ping off one of the 6, centrally located. Based on my training experience and conversations with law enforcement officers that specialize in the utilization of cellular telephone records as part of the investigations, individuals can either leave their cellular telephone at a different location before committing a crime, which he forgot to do. Cloud-based forensics teach you that, or turn their cellular phone off prior to going to a location to commit a crime. This is done by subjects in an effort to avoid alerting law enforcement that a cellular device associated with them was in a particular area where a crime is committed. I also know that on numerous occasions, subjects will surveil an area where they intend to commit a crime report prior to the date of the crime. Yeah, because going to grocery shop means you're stalking out people, right? Depending on the circumstances, this could be done a few days before or several months prior to the commission of a crime. During these types of surveillance, it is possible that an individual would not leave their cellular phone at a separate location or turn it off since they do not plan to commit the offense on that particular day. And with all due respect, I think everybody also knows that McDonald's coffee is hot, right? I think that's pretty obvious. Let me get to chat real quick and then we'll keep going. Having stitches, something. No, I'm just in a really good mood. I got this new computer a few days ago. The shows have been great. I got this background. I mean, I'm feeling good. You know what I mean? Like, I've had a bunch of shit, like this fire and shit and all this other shit. And it's just like, you know what? Even with all this other bullshit, I'm just loving life. So I'm just in a great fucking mood. I'm sorry. I can't button the suit. There you go. I can't, but my glove don't fit. I could be a speed reader. I'm trying because we're only on 13 and 19, and it's like 3.5 hours. My hand don't fit through the sleeve. It's the new OJ glove. Yeah, it makes no sense. You could have went up by the airport, literally came down right outside of Moscow, and then hooked a couple roads, and you're right there at the crime scene. You didn't have to go driving all through Pullman, and you didn't have to even go driving through Moscow. You didn't. You didn't have to. You literally could have look at Google Maps. You could have went up by the airport, drove down. It takes you down right before right before you get into Moscow, and then you're going maybe a block or two, and then you turn right, and then you're heading residential to the crime scene. No. When you study cloud-based forensics, you know this shit, man. What? On December 23rd, 2022, I applied for and was granted a search warrant for historical phone records between November 12th, 2022 at 12 a.m. and November 14th at 12 a.m. for the 8458 phone held by the phone provider AT&T, approximately 24 hours preceding and following the times of the homicides. On December 23rd, 2022, pursuant to the search warrant, I received records for the 8458 phone from AT&T. These records indicate that the 8458 phone is subscribed to Koberger at an address in Albrightsville, Pennsylvania, and the account has been open since June 23rd, 2022. These records also included historical cell site location information, CSLI, for the 8458 phone. After receiving this information, I consulted with the FBI special agent that is certified as a member of the Cellular Analysis Survey Team, CAST. Members of CAST are certified with the FBI to provide expert testimony in the field of historical CSLI and are required to pass extensive training that includes both written and practical examinations prior to be certified with CAST, as well as the completion of yearly certification requirements. Additionally, the FBI CAST SA that I consulted with has over 15 years of federal law enforcement experience, which includes 6 years with the FBI. From information provided by CAST, I was able to determine estimated locations for the 8458 phone from the November 12th, 2022 to November 13th, 2022, the time period authorized by the court. On November 13th, 2022, at approximately 2:42 a.m., the 8458 phone was utilizing cellular resources that provide coverage to Northeast Valley Road, Pullman, Washington, hereafter the Koberger residence. At approximately 2:47 a.m., and the 8458 phone utilized cellular resources that provide coverage southeast of the Koberger residence, consistent with the 8458 phone, leaving the Koberger residence and traveling south through Pullman. This is consistent with the movement of the white Elantra. At approximately 2:47 a.m., the 8458 phone stops reporting to the network, which is consistent with either the phone being in an area without coverage, which we've heard from multiple people, or the connection to the network is disabled, such as putting the phone in airplane mode, which we heard from a lot of people today in the show earlier this morning, that there's a lot of people that put their phone in airplane mode. The 8458 phone does not report to the network again until approximately 4:48 a.m., at which time it is utilized cellular resources that provide coverage to the Idaho State Highway 95 south of Moscow, Idaho, near Blaine, north of Genesee. Between 4:50 a.m. and 5:26 a.m., the phone utilizes cellular resources that are consistent with the 8458 phone traveling through south on Idaho State Highway 95 to Genesee, Idaho, then traveling west towards Uniontown, Idaho, then back north towards Pullman, Washington. At approximately 5:38 5:30 a.m., the 8458 phone is utilizing resources that provide coverage to Pullman and consistent with the phone traveling back to the Koberger residence. The 8458 phone's movements are consistent with the movements of the white Elantra that is observed traveling north on Stadium Drive at approximately 5:27 a.m. Based on a review of the 8458's phone estimated locations and travel, the 8458's phone's travel is consistent with that of the white Elantra. Further review indicated that the 8458 phone utilized cellular resources on November 13th that are consistent with the 8458 phone leaving the area of the Koberger residence at approximately 9 a.m. and traveling to Moscow, Idaho. Specifically, the 8458 phone utilized cellular resources that would provide coverage to the King Road residence between 9:12 a.m. and 9:21 a.m. Yeah, the same tower that it uses if you're going to the freaking grocery store. I mean, they keep talking like there's all these freaking towers in Moscow. Oh yeah, he pinged off this one and he pinged off this one and he pinged off. Below is a depiction not to scale the possible route taken by off of a cellular locations. Wow, I could have gave you a better Google picture than that. Investigators found that the 8458 phone did not connect to a cell phone tower, did connect to a cell phone tower that provides service to Moscow on November 14th, 2020. Like, there's so many freaking towers out there. Give me a break. Yeah, great photo, right? My Google guy.
Oh my God.
A Google guy photo has clear fucking image than that. At least you can see trees on it. This, what is this? A murky swamp? Like, what is this? The 8458 phone has not connected to any towers that provide service to Moscow since that date. Of course not. Based on my training, experience, and the facts of the investigation thus far, I believe the Koberger, the user of the 8458 phone, was likely the driver of the white Elantra that is observed departing Pullman, Washington, and that this vehicle is likely suspect vehicle 1. Additionally, the route of travel of the 8458 phone during the early morning hours of November 13th and the lack of the 8458 phone reporting to the AT&T between 2:47 a.m. and 4:48 a.m. is consistent with Koberger attempting to conceal his location during the quadruple homicide that occurred at the King Road residence. Why is this different typing? Okay, just that one page was a little weird. That's interesting. That one page is a little weird. On December 23rd, 2022, I was granted a search warrant for Koberger's historical CSLI from June 23rd, 2022 to current prospective location information and a pen register / trap and trace on the 8458 phone to aid in efforts to determine if Koberger stalked any of the victims in this case prior to the offense, conducted surveillance on the King Road residence, was in contact with any of the victims' associates before or after the alleged offense, any locations that may contain evidence of the crime that occurred on November 13th, 2022, the location of the white Elantra registered to Koberger, as well as the location of Koberger on December 23rd. Pursuant to the search warrant, I received historical records for the 8458 phone from AT&T from the time the account was opened in June 2022. Damn, it took them that long. After consulting with Cast SA, I was able to determine estimated locations for the 8458 phone from June 2022 to present, the time period authorized by the court. The records for the 8458 phone show the 8458 phone utilizing cellular resources that provide coverage to the area of 1122 King Road on at least 12 occasions prior to November 13th, 2022. All of these locations, except for one, occurred in the late evening and early morning hours of their respective days. There's so many towers over there in Moscow. There really is. One of these occasions on August 23rd, 21st, 2022. The 8458 phone utilized cellular resources, providing coverage to the King Road residents from approximately 10:34 p.m. to 11:35 p.m. At approximately 11:37 p.m., Koberger was stopped by Latah County Sheriff's Deputy Corporal Duke, as mentioned above. The 8458 phone was utilizing cellular resources consistent with the location of the traffic stop during this time, quote, Farm Road and Pullman Highway. Further analysis of the cellular data provided showing the 8458 phone utilized cellular resources on November 13th, 2022, consistent with the phone traveling from Pullman, Washington to Lewis, Idaho via U.S. Highway 95 at approximately 12:36 p.m. The 8458 phone utilized cellular resources that would provide coverage to Kate Cups of Joe coffee stand located at 810, and I need to do a coffee review there. Port Drive, Clarkston, Washington. Surveillance footage from the U.S. Chef store located at 820 Port Drive, Clarkston, Washington, and adjacent to Kate's Cup of Joe showed a white Elantra consistent with the suspect vehicle 1 drive past Kate's Cup of Joe at a time consistent with the cellular data from the 8458 phone. At approximately 12:46, the 8458 phone then utilized cellular data in the area of Albertson's grocery store at 400 Bridge Street in Clarkston, Washington. Surveillance footage obtained from the Albertsons show Koberger exit the white Elantra consistent with suspect vehicle 1 at approximately 12:49 p.m. Interior surveillance cameras showed Koberger walk through the store, purchase unknown items at the checkout. It could have been a whatchamacallit, and leave at approximately those are good candy bars too. At approximately 1:04 p.m., Koberger's possible path of travel is depicted below. Again, not to scale, shitty resolution,
Oh my
murky
God.
swamp water. It's
Oh
horrible.
God.
I'm not. It's gross. Additional analysis of record for the 84. It's disgusting. 845. Murky swamp water. It's like walking in and seeing somebody not flushing the toilet after a night of dairy.
Wait, what was that
you know?
picture?
No. Huh?
What's
This
the picture?
It looks like you walk into a bathroom where somebody didn't flush the toilet after having a bunch of dairy the night before.
See the
Okay.
picture.
Yes. Especially if they're lactose. Okay.
Oh my God. What is
Dairy
that?
ain't no joke. The suspected path of travel.
Oh my God. Oh God. It's not on surveillance. It's just pieced together.
Phone over, yeah, it's pieced together. 8458 phone indicated that between approximately 5:32 and 5:36 p.m., the 8458 phone utilized cellular resources that provide coverage to Johnson, Idaho. The 8458 phone then stops reporting to the network from approximately 5:36 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. That is consistent with the 8458 phone being the area that the 8458 phone traveled in the hours immediately following the suspected time the crime occurred. Man, I need a drink. It's like that H.Blum article. You think it's a 20-minute read, but no, it's a 42, On December 27th, 2022, Pennsylvania agents recovered the trash from Koberger family residence located in Albrightsville, Pennsylvania. That evidence was sent to Idaho State Lab for testing on December 28th, 2022. The Idaho State Lab reported that a DNA profile obtained from the trash and the DNA profile obtained from the sheath identified a male as not being excluded as the biological father of suspect vehicle 1. At least 99.9998% of the male population would be expected to be excluded from the possibility of being the suspect's biological father. Based on the information, I am requesting a search warrant be issued for Brian C. Koberger for burglary at the 1122 King Street in Moscow, Idaho, and 4 counts of unalivings in the first degree of the unalivings of Madison, Kaylee, Zana, and Ethan. I declare under penalty of perjury pursuant to the law of the state of Idaho that the foregoing is true and correct. Of course, because you can apply it to anything. Signed, sealed, delivered, right there. Let me get to chat here. Missed about 13 minutes of it. Sorry, I was trying to get through that and then get to what you guys are saying here. The photo. Please hit the like if you haven't yet. It's the free way to help me out. I'd appreciate it. There is no other income coming into this home, so it is all appreciated and it does help. Taking you all up, right? Who knows? It's all over the frickin' place. I appreciate you guys hanging out tonight. Appreciate it.
It's just crazy.
There's so many holes. So many holes in it. So many holes. So many holes. Brian was a clean freak, but he didn't take his trash out before he left in his trip, and they could grab some of it. No, they grabbed the dads. They were using the dads.
Who's not excluded, who's not likely excluded to be BK's father.
No, not excluded, no. That was fun.
This is just a mess. This PCA is a mess.
That was a fun little read through.
Oh, God.
All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and end the evening. I think I might go hang out at the lounge. I'm going to eat something, see how I feel. It's been a long day. I did a lot of work. I had 3 shows today. I'll be having 2 tomorrow. We're going to be doing the show with Silky Southern Tea and Coach Kev tomorrow, 11 a.m. Central, 12 p.m. Eastern, talking about the Delphi Odinism and having a little debate about it. It's going to be a healthy debate. It's going to be great. And then we'll be doing our true crime show tomorrow night. And then I'll be having the architect on Friday morning talking the Emily Noble case. And then we'll be having our true crime Friday night as well. And then the weekend, we will see. So typically unique, if you're still in the chat, I'm thinking Saturday night or Saturday afternoon would probably work out great. If I don't see you, then I'll definitely reach out to you in Discord or email. And we can get that figured out. So thank you, Yolie, for hopping up here. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out tonight.
It was fun.
Always, great show. Appreciate it. We have a great time. You guys are a wonderful community. I appreciate you guys so much. Your support, no matter if you're just hanging out, you're not even chatting, your support means everything to me. And it's what keeps me going and keeps everybody going. How in the hell does CJ do all this shit? Because I bust my ass, and I still bust my ass. I bust my ass even more than I used to bust my ass. And people are like, how in the hell did you do it before if you're this busy now? And I'm like, I don't fucking know. I just get the shit done. It's the goal. It's the focus. So
my abs are going to hurt from laughing.
Yeah, I had a lot of different voices tonight, didn't I? It'd be a good video to take little time clips and then make an intro out of it of all my different voices and reactions from this video, right?
Yeah.
Some bitch, right?
Oh God.
Yeah, you get all that shit.
All right, everybody.
So much,
Good night.
everybody. Appreciate you. Thank you, Yolie.
Okay.
I will
bye.
see you guys tomorrow. Good night, everybody.